And welcome in to a live edition of Nebraska Football Talk, a highly anticipated live stream today. It's a celebration of the offseason that was and the season that is about to be. Everybody, welcome in to the live. Let me know down below where you're tuning in from throughout the country. And hey, make sure to hit that like button on the stream and also subscribe. And we have a lot to talk about today. Again, a celebration of sorts. We're going to be raising a lot of toasts, a toast to the coaching staff, a toast to the program. So join me. Take the beverage of your choice, a water, a soda, milk, a adult beverage, if you will, and join me tonight for a celebration of the offseason and the 2024 campaign that is about to embark on for the Huskers. But welcome in, everybody. Let's see what the chat is talking about before we go along with what I have planned today. What is up, Jason? Yep, we had the new Chasing 3 that just came out. Of course, I was watching that and then had to come on here for a huge live stream today. I hope you guys saw that Chasing 3. Absolutely. Just like Sal said, hit that like button on the stream. Let's get that up. Yeah, man, that Chasing 3 episode was awesome. We'll get to that, of course. But again, everybody tune in. Let me know where you're tuning in down below. But let's get going today. Today's a celebration. Today is an absolute celebration. We're about halfway through Nebraska fall camp, and we're 2 weeks away from game week and 3 weeks away until the actual season. So it's a celebration of sorts. We're getting very close to finally watching our team play on the field. So before we talk about the actual season and we celebrate what is about to be, let's talk about what got us here. Let's take a little bit of a look back throughout the offseason, throughout the summer, spring, and winter. And let's just go back to November, right? So you're right now watching this live stream. It is August 11th. You're going to go back to Black Friday of 2023, Nebraska losing that game to Iowa. The offseason begins. Well, that was a tough day for the Huskers, and it embarked upon our journey here as Husker fans to where we are now. So in order to really talk about this season, we have to talk about where we came from and why it's so important that we're getting better as a team. So, of course, we lost the game to Iowa, lost 4 straight. Marcus Satterfield was in talks about potentially being fired. The fan base was freaking out. And we didn't know where we were going as a program. Who's going to be our quarterback next year? Jeff Sims wasn't the guy. Chuba Purdy wasn't the guy, right? Heinrich Haarberg likely is not the guy. So if you go back to where we were a couple months ago, not too long ago at this point, we were all freaking out. We didn't know what this offseason had in store. Well, let's fast forward to last December now. Kyle McCord, he entered the transfer portal from Ohio State. The rumors were swirling around. Oh my goodness, is he going to be a Nebraska Cornhusker? He took a visit to Lincoln. Julian Fleming took a visit to Lincoln. And it looked like, man, the Huskers might get 2 Ohio State Buckeyes. Things are looking up for the Huskers. But we could have never anticipated what was coming next. December 11th. Only, 8 months ago. Actually, 8 months ago to this day. Dylan Raiola received a crystal ball to land at Nebraska. Changed everything. 1 week later, on December 18th, 2023, the number 1 quarterback in the country, Dylan Raiola, committed to Nebraska. So for my first toast of the night, a celebration of this offseason, everybody raise your glasses, whatever beverage you have with you tonight. Of course, I'm rocking the Dr. Pepper. My first toast is to Dylan Raiola for changing the course of this offseason. We had no idea where this would lead. If Kyle McCord was going to be the guy, if we would go into the season with Heinrich Haarberg potentially being our starter. But to Dylan Raiola for, again, basically having our expectations this high, thanks to him, because he's going to be a phenomenal quarterback. So toast to you, Dylan Raiola. First toast of the night. And let's crack open this boy here. First toast to Dylan Raiola. But I mean, let's talk about this and what a monumental day that was, December 18th, because that changed Nebraska football likely forever. Okay, we haven't landed a 5-star in a very long time. We didn't land one throughout the 2010s and for the majority of the 2020s until Again, that fateful day on December 18th, 2023. And there's so many things that Dylan Raiola has done for us that we really haven't noticed, right? He's made us nationally relevant again. And we can thank Matt Rhule, and Matt Rhule's played a big part in it. But Dylan Raiola is playing a part in recruiting, for example, right? We're getting guys on campus like Michael Terry, Isaiah Mosey, David Sanders because of him. We're getting figureheads like Paul Feinbaum. Again, I know he's controversial, but he's talking about us on the daily because of guys like Dylan Raiola. So because of him, we're projected, 7, 8, 9 wins this year? If Heinrich Hoiberg was our guy, who knows where we would be? So Dylan Raiola, that's our first toast of the night. And you know what? I like to do something on this channel when I'm right, and I'm right a considerable amount of times. I'll let you know. I'll be the first one to let you know when I'm right. But in that same grain, I'll let you know when I'm wrong. And I can't hide. I make a video every day. I can't hide. So if I'm wrong about something, I'll let you guys know. And I was wrong about Dylan Raiola way about a year ago. I mean, I'm sure most of you guys were not following the channel at this point. 1 year ago, I made a video when Dylan Raiola committed to Georgia, and I was heartbroken. I was really angry about it. I was really sad about it. And I said in that video about a year and a half ago at this point, I didn't want Dylan Raiola even if he decommitted from Georgia. Well, that obviously changed. I was wrong. I'll put that up there, right? Dylan Raiola decommitted. I'm like, I'm back on that. But, he changed the course of our offseason. So cheers to you, Dylan Raiola. That was the first part of this offseason. But let's continue on this journey, going through what happened this offseason, because in order to celebrate the season that is about to be, we have to go through the pain, the suffering, and a lot of the good times that's happened throughout the last couple of months. So staying in the month of December, Trevor Purdy enters the portal. Dante Dowdle commits to Nebraska. Going on to January, Jamal Banks commits, Micah Mazuka commits, Isaiah Nayer commits, right? Nebraska goes on a run there where they just can't miss in the transfer portal. And that's credit to Matt Rhule, where okay, he went after a lot of great players, and he didn't miss on anybody. The only guys he really missed on that went on campus were Julian Fleming and Kyle McCord. So he was almost perfect in the transfer portal. He didn't get a bunch of guys, but he got guys who mattered, and they're going to play some significant snaps for us this year, and they're going to be leaders on this team. So that was huge in the month of January. And then it shouldn't be forgotten that he got a guy by the name of Keona Wilhite at the last second. Of course, now goes by the name of Keona Davis. I mean, he's been in the rumors recently. I will get to that as the stream progresses. Don't worry. We're here for the long haul tonight. Keona Davis has been playing pretty good throughout fall practice so far. So he got that guy last second in the 2024 recruiting class. So let's go to February and March, because this was a turbulent time as a Nebraska fan. We didn't really get too many commits, but there were a lot of coaching issues and a lot of coaching drama going around. First things first, I'm going to take a trip to memory lane. Remember the Dana Holgorsen situation? I'm sure a lot of you guys were introduced to my channel because of that Dana Holgorsen video. I had a video that went semi-viral about talking to Dana Holgorsen and his possible connection with Nebraska, but that was a big rumor for a while. Okay, is he going to be our next quarterback's coach, offensive coordinator? What's going on there? And then the whole Tony White situation, that he was taking interviews at other schools. We didn't know if he was going to leave or not. We didn't know if he was going to UCLA, Syracuse, San Diego State. Thank goodness he's now with Nebraska, but there were so many turbulent times this offseason where, okay, we don't know who we're going to have next year. And then Glenn Thomas, in the last hour, joins the staff to become our co-offense coordinator and quarterbacks coach. And what an addition that is about to be. But we can't talk about this offseason and celebrate it coming to a close without talking about March 13th. One of the, let's just call it what it is, weirdest days in Nebraska football and Nebraska athletics history. That day, if you don't remember, Trev Alberts left for Texas A&M. Now, I still remember where I was when I found out. I was in first period, senior year of high school, was not checking my phone at all. I actually got a text from my dad talking, and he said, "What's going on with Trev Alberts?" Looked at my phone, Twitter was blowing up, my messages were blowing up. And I don't know if you guys remember this video. I made a video in a closet talking about Trev Alberts and basically what was going on with that situation, him leaving to Texas A&M, my raw emotions. That was a crazy day. And I wouldn't take it back for the world because, although Trev Alberts is not here anymore and we thought he was going to be the guy, we thought he was going to be here for the foreseeable future. Listen, I feel good about Troy Dannon, and I feel good about where he's taking us as a program and as an athletic department. So that was a crazy day. Benedict Alberts. I mean, just Twitter was on nuts. YouTube was on nuts. And, of course, Troy Dannon was hired a couple days later. So that was quite the day to be a Husker fan. Trev Alberts, what went on there during that situation. So here's my second cheers of the night, folks. Raise up your glasses, whatever you got, milk, an alcoholic beverage, a soda, water, whatever it is. Raise up your glasses. Troy Dannon is our second of the night. To Troy Dannon. Listen, the only thing that I want from an athletic director is stability. That's what I want. I want an athletic director that's going to be here for the next 20, 30 years. Maybe this is the homer in me that's saying this, but I truly believe that Troy Dannon is here for the long haul, that this is it for him. Okay, he said that he tried to apply to Nebraska's AD position a couple years ago when he was at Tulane. He's always wanted to be here. I truly believe that this guy will be here for the long haul. So, second cheers to our man, Troy Dannon. Listen. Here's the thing about Troy Dannon that I like as well, is that he's completely redoing our NIL. We wouldn't be in the mix for a lot of these 5-stars without what Troy Dannon is doing, right? He tied the 1890 collective exclusively to our university. Other schools aren't doing something like that. So what he is doing is a clear indictment on his character, on what he sees in the future of college football and college athletics, not only for college football, but what he's doing for the NIL is only going to benefit our other sports as well. So, second cheers of the night, folks, to Troy Dannon. Thank you very much, and hopefully you stay for the long haul. So that all happened in the month of March. Again, there's never a slow day as a Nebraska fan. Let's keep it rolling. Celebrating this offseason, what else happened throughout the summer, the spring, and everything else. So, spring ball started to get going late March, right after Troy Dannon got on campus. We had guys who popped off, who nobody saw coming. Guys like Larry Tarver, Vincent Shavers, Jalen Lloyd was my spring ball MVP. And then the spring game rolled around at the end of the month, and Dylan Raiola once again put on a show for the fan base, and he is going to be the guy. So, that concludes the spring. Let's get into the summer of the offseason as we take our little trip back through memory lane. Well, we got a couple commits to start off our summer. Of course, Jamarion Parker, TJ Lateef, Bryson Hayes, a couple others. Some good 4-stars that were added to this recruiting class. And man, Matt Rhule is working overtime. Shout out to him. And then we got some more recruiting news. The Michael Terry situation that's still ongoing. Dawson Merritt, that started to heat up in mid-June. Then you have the whole David Sanders saga that really heated up throughout July. So a lot of recruiting news. But you know what's interesting? We're taking steps as a program. And a lot of people have trouble talking about that because they expect the world from the Huskers right away. They expect 10 wins this year. They expect national relevancy every year. We have never been in the mix for these 5-star prospects in the past. Scott Frost wouldn't even have these guys on campus because they weren't interested. I know a lot of people give Matt Rhule some flack for not landing David Sanders. Again, it's not official, but probably won't land him. Michael Terry, who knows what happens there. But it's just the fact that he's getting these guys on campus, he's continuing these relationships, and he's keeping it going. And when we inevitably start winning, which will be this year, we're going to start landing these guys. So, man, that's another thing about Matt Rhule that I love is his recruiting relationships, and he's doing a good job. Let's take it to mid-July here with perhaps the storyline of the offseason besides our friend Trev Alberts leaving the Texas A&M. And this was Evan Cooper. I mean, this shook Nebraska social media. Evan Cooper resigns out of nowhere. What's going on? Are there allegations? Was there a crime committed? Who is next? Is Terrence Knighton next? We have no idea. So that was a wild couple of days. But once again, Matt Rhule handled it with class. He handled it like a politician where, okay, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to say all the right things, I'm going to execute correctly, unlike some other politicians. We're not going to go into that. But Matt Rhule, once again, a figurehead for this university, and he hires John Butler, who's going to be a great defensive backs coach for the next couple years. So that brings me to my third toast of the night. To Matt Rhule, for not only recruiting at a high level, when a lot of people questioned that when he was originally hired by Nebraska, for not only being a figurehead for this university, for never embarrassing us on Big Ten Media Day stages or through interviews or throwing shots at other coaches. And last but not least, through handling controversy with class like he did with Evan Cooper, and for him to hire John Butler, that was phenomenal. He thrives in all situations, and that is my third toast of the night to Matt Rhule, and we'll get into him as the live stream progresses. So everybody, raise your glasses to Matthew Rhule. So that was all in mid-July. We're getting close to the present day. Big Ten Media Days came up. Matt Rhule, of course, was phenomenal. Handled all the questions very well. No big storylines. We had some guys go to Big Ten Media Days and represented the program at a good level. And then let's take us to about, 2-3 days ago, where the last big news of the offseason happened. Isaiah Mosey flipped from Oregon to Nebraska, and the Huskers landed a 4-star wide receiver to this class. So that brings us back. A trip down memory lane, and we are back to August 11th, 2024. 2 weeks left of Nebraska fall practice. 3 weeks left until the actual season. And man, oh man, do we have a lot to talk about. So before I talk about Nebraska fall practice nuggets and the things I'm hearing, some breakout players that I didn't mention in today's video, let's see what the chat's talking about. Let's go to you guys. How are you guys doing tonight, everybody? Hope you guys are having a good night. Once again, hit that like button on the stream. Hey, if you're somehow watching this and you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Hey, follow me on social media as well, at Wilson Dimon on Instagram and Wilson D Sports on Twitter. I'll follow all of you guys back. But I hope you guys are all having a good night. Everybody's having a good night, looks like. Yep. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here. I'll get back to it at some point in time, but I really, really want to talk about what's been going on throughout Nebraska fall practice, and see what's going on and some of the breakout players. So let's bring it all back here in the chat. All right. Let's talk about Nebraska fall practice and some of the guys who have been playing very well and some of the guys who maybe aren't, but are going to get back to that level very, very soon. First things first, Larry freaking Tarver. Buy stock on this young man, true freshman cornerback. So I just got word right after I made my video that Larry Tarver got reps with the ones all throughout last week. He got banged up a little bit, had a little bit of a sore ankle, but they held him out for one day just for a day-to-day injury, but he is going to be fine. Larry Tarver, guys, I know a lot of the hype's around Mario Buford and Jeremiah Charles. I have told you guys this, just like I said earlier, I will tell you when I'm right? I'm guilty. Whenever I'm right, I'll be the first one to tell you. Since February, I've been talking about this guy, Larry Tarver, and how much of a difference maker he's going to be from Miami, Florida. Holy crap. I was underestimating him at the time. I thought he'd be in the mix to play. I didn't think he'd be in the mix to start. Larry Tarver could be the day one corner besides Tommy Hill, given the fact that Bly Hill's out right now with injury. So keep hearing stuff about Larry Tarver, how well he is playing right now for the Huskers. Let's talk about the offensive line because there are some concerns. It hasn't been playing good in the last week, right? You have guys like Bryce Benhart, Micah Mazuka, Ben Scott. You feel good about those guys. But that left tackle position is sketchy. It's sketchy. Turner Corcoran starting at left tackle. Man, is that tough. Gunnar Kutula is pushing him for that spot. You have a walk-on. Can't remember his name right now. A Seaman, right? Pushing him at that spot. Grant Seagren, that's his name. Pushing him for left tackle. So getting that left tackle spot, it's tough for the Huskers. That's the most important position on the field. So we should be concerned about that just a little bit, about that offensive line, right? I'm just saying, right? Let's not freak out. Let's not press the panic button because you still feel good about that starting five. And this is the comments I get all the time about this offensive line. Oh, Wilson, the starting five, they're really good. Sure, the starting five is good, but that's not how college football works. Your offensive line is dictated based on your best seven or eight, not your best five, because guys get injured. Guys rotate in and out. You need depth on the O-line. And unfortunately, right now, we just don't have that much depth. So what I've heard about this Nebraska fall practice is the offensive line just hasn't been playing up to snuff. But it should also be taken with a little bit of a grain of salt here, folks, because this defensive line is top-notch. Not only do you have Nash, who has been just destroying guys throughout fall practice. Keep hearing his name. Ty Robinson, Jamari Butler, Cam Lenhart, Prince Emmanuel, Keona Davis, Elijah Judy, Riley Van Poppel. I could keep going, folks. It's a great defensive line. James Williams, Kai Wallen, right? I mean, it's a great defensive line. So, yeah, this offensive line maybe not playing up to snuff, but this D-line is special. Let's talk about the secondary, because there are a little bit of concerns. Yes, Larry Tarver starting there, but you do have a concern about a true freshman potentially getting that playing time. Here's a question I want to impose on you guys. Dylan Raiola is going to be a good quarterback. He's going to be very good. He really has not been making many mistakes throughout fall practice so far. It leaves the coaching staff a question. Is the secondary just that bad? Or is Dylan Raiola just that good? That's the question of the day, because he's been torching the secondary, right? It hasn't even been close. So, is the secondary that bad, or is Dylan Raiola already on a different level? Or is it a little bit of both? Right? You feel good about these safeties. Don't get me wrong. Malcolm Hartzog, Deshaun Singleton, Marquise Buford. It's just that corner issue. That's going to be a big issue that continues to come up. Running backs. What I keep hearing, Emmett Johnson's that guy, but it's going to be a little bit more of a running back by committee, not as much as we've seen over the last couple years, right? I think Sean Callahan said the other day, like, it's a running back by committee completely. It's not going to be, right? Emmett Johnson's going to get the majority of the carries throughout the season. But yeah, Gabe Ervin will be in the mix. He'll be in the mix. He'll get significant reps. Ramir Johnson will get significant reps. Dante Dowd will probably come in on goal line situations. So that's what I want to address, the running back situation. I actually haven't heard too much about the running backs. Like, that's really odd. Throughout spring ball, and I want to complain a little bit here because I don't have sources necessarily, but I hear things, if you know what I mean, right? Because of, I have a lot of people who go to the university or involved in the athletic department, through Twitter connections on everything, Instagram connections, and I hear a lot about spring practice. I had a lot to tell you about spring practice and a lot of the ballers and a lot of those good players. I was one of the first guys on the Vincent Shavers case. I told you about him before the media told you about him. I told you about Larry Tarver before the media told you about him. So I heard a lot about spring ball, but holy cow, or the fall stuff, it's not coming out very quickly. I mean, you're not hearing much, and that's credit to Matt Rhule. He's shutting down practice. You're not hearing a lot of news because he's not letting anybody into the room. He's not letting people go to these scrimmages. So I actually haven't heard much about the running back room, but Emmett Johnson's that guy, and you really have to listen to what he's saying and Matt Rhule's talking about in practice or in his press conferences. Continue just name drops Emmett Johnson. Now he's on a different level. So Emmett Johnson will be that guy. One thing he talked about the other day is how good this defense in general is going to be. And how honestly, it was a little bit balanced in that scrimmage yesterday, but that defensive line and that linebacker core playing very good. You can't have pre-snap penalties against this defense because they're going to take advantage of it every single day of the week. Last thing I want to talk about in my fall nuggets before we fully get into our celebration of the season, those wide receiver core, guys, it's going to be special. It's going to be freaking special. I mean, you have guys like Jamal Banks. You know what he is. You know what Isaiah Nair is if he's healthy. Jamal Banks is going to be a guy who goes to the NFL. Jalen Lloyd, we don't know what he's going to be yet. But if everything works out, you like to believe he's a first-round NFL draft pick. Same with Malachi. Same with guys like Ja'Cory Barney. It's a deep wide receiver room. And then you have veterans in there like Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda, who, might not do things that are, incredibly impressive, but he's just a solid wide receiver, does all the right things. You have guys like Alex Bullock in there, Davon Hall in there, some younger guys as well. So it's a great receiver room. It's playing awesome through spring ball. Honestly, that's the positional group I've heard the most about, the wide receivers. It's a new guy every single day. That tells you how deep it is and how exciting these players are. All right, guys, let's get in the comment section. What are you guys talking about today? Jason says, Blyhill is certainly talented and within the top 5 easily, but there's a lot of good options in the secondary. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of good I wouldn't say great options, but there's a lot of talented options. A lot of these guys haven't figured it out yet. Like Larry Tarver's talented. I don't think he's figured it out yet. He's not going to be phenomenal off the gates, but he's going to be good in the last couple of years. But, there's some good options. There's just not a bunch of great options. Hold on. I got to go way back in this comment section because I missed a lot. You guys are talking about a bunch of random stuff here. Let's talk about, Trev Albert's here. I can't even work up anything for Trev. It is what it is. I still contend that A&M to the Big Ten becomes news by this time next year. No, A&M's never leaving the SEC, man. They're sticking there. That works. That works well. Let's take it back. All right. Many people, including myself, prefer this channel because the host does not throw out language like Nebraska channels. Keep it clean. Absolutely, man. It's exactly what we do on this channel. For sure. We keep it clean. Let's see. Let's get back. Who do you think will be the starting kicker for Nebraska? Tristan Alvano. I feel pretty confident about it at this point. It'll be Tristan Alvano. For the love of all that is holy, why are so many high on Bly Hill? I agree with you. I honestly agree with you. I had that same conversation with myself because Bly Hill has played 1 year of FCS football, and really, I mean, he was good at St. Francis. He wasn't great. It's just how he performed throughout spring practice. He was good. And this is honestly a bad secondary. I think a lot of the Bly Hill hype is because there weren't too many other guys competing against him in spring ball, right? Larry Tarver, Mario Buford, Jeremiah Charles, they're still learning the game. And he was the guy who came in a little bit polished and played the best. But with that being said, I think Bly Hill's a pretty good player. His FCS status he reminds me a lot to Marquise Buford. When Marquise Buford came in from prep school, Marquise Buford almost played right away. So they're very similar players, except Bly Hill plays corner. But I think he's going to be good. I don't think he's going to be great. I think the hype there is a little bit overrated for Bly. And people should also remember that Bly Hill is not a man-to-man boundary corner, at least not in my opinion. He's 6'3". He reminds me a lot of Benjamin St. Juste, who's a current NFL corner. He was previously at Minnesota. Basically what he is he's not very fast, but he's athletic, he's twitchy, and he's tall. He's a nickel corner, right? He's a guy you'd like in the slot. So I'm not like incredibly high about Bly Hill like some other people are. Like I know my man Justin Adams at Nebraska Boys College Football. We've been back and forth on this. He's very high on Bly. That's his guy. And I'm like, I like Bly. I don't like him as much as you do. Yeah, Bly's going to be okay. But I think the hype there, I don't know if it's as warranted as it should be, but Matt Rhule hyped him up a lot. And I like to listen to what if Matt Rhule's hyping up a guy, I listen because he doesn't hype up many. Who was the defensive lineman the coaches compared to Sue? That was Keona Davis, true freshman. Who's your favorite commit in the 2025 class? Jeremiah Jones, my man. That dude is a freak athlete. He's basically Michael Terry, but not Michael Terry. That's what Jeremiah Jones is. He can play every position on the field. We're recruiting him on the defense. I honestly think we should put him on offense, but I love Jeremiah Jones. How do you know he's been torching the secondary? Like I said, man, I hear things. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, again, Raiola is on a different level. He's on it. He's been playing phenomenal. Let's get back to all these guys. Keaton, put your stuff in the comment section. I'll try to get to a lot of this. Not exactly a lot of news. Again, yeah, that's the crazy thing, right? Like, again, throughout spring practice, my phone was blowing up. This guy would text me, okay, this is what's going on here. I'd have a friend at the university who goes to some of these practices, and he texts me about a couple breakout players. My phone's been dry throughout these last 2 weeks, man. I haven't heard any of these. I mean, I've heard a couple things here and there, that I just already mentioned. Like, I'll let you know when I hear stuff. I'm not a closed book. I don't lie to you guys. I don't, hide a breakout player for whatever reason. But I heard a lot more throughout spring ball. That's credit to Matt Rhule. Honestly, it should be that way. That he's keeping things under wraps. How is Grant Bricks and the other freshman O-lineman looking? So, honestly, Grant Bricks hasn't been playing too good. See, he had a rough night during open scrimmage. He got bull rushed pretty bad. I want to say, I can't remember who the rep is against. I want to say it was against Keona Davis. But, man, he was getting blown up. And here's my thing about Grant Bricks is that he's not used to the pass pro at all. He comes from Iowa high school football. And if you've ever watched his high school film, I reacted to it 6-7 months ago on this channel. It's purely runs. So he has no footwork in the pass pro. He doesn't know what he's doing. So I think he's going to be a guy where if he develops for a couple years, he's going to be good, just not this year. And honestly, I think Grant Bricks should be a guard. I like him at guard. I just don't like him at tackle. And then Gibson Piles playing well. He's not going to play, though. Present Tomo is banged up. And then Jake Peters, of course, out for the year. And I haven't heard anything about anybody else. Not exactly a lot of news. A great name for a channel. Yeah, somebody should make that. Somebody should do that. That'd be funny. Good but not great options. I agree. Yeah, exactly. All right. I mean, this corner room, there's so much talent. Same thing with wide receivers. It's just these guys, like this secondary is going to be elite in a couple years, just not yet. There's good options. There's not great options. Ross says, I think we should toast the one and only Wilson Dittman, cranking out a video every day, and the fact we're all interested in entertaining, not an easy feat. My man, Ross, cheers to you, my man. Thank you guys all for the support. Again, it's been wild. I'm telling you, when you're sitting there in this chair in July and you're trying to think of a video every single day, it's tough sometimes, man, but it's worth it. It's worth it for live streams like this. You, my man, Ross, are the real deal, man. This guy gives me a hard time. That's my catchphrase at this point, Ross. I appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you, my man. Because he's 6'4". Are you referring to Bly Hill? Yeah, I mean, he's tall, very tall, but he's not a boundary corner. That's my concern. Like, I want a boundary corner. I want a guy like Larry Tarver. I want a guy like Mario Buford. Bly Hill, when I heard stuff about him, it's like, okay, but can he really guard a speedy Big Ten wide receiver one-on-one? He can't because he's not that fast. He's a nickel, so that's just kind of my concern around him. But we'll get to that. Who are your top 3 receivers, and who do you put in the slot? Yeah, Jamal Banks, number 1, right? He's that guy. He's at wide receiver X. Isaiah Nair, he has played the best at the wide receiver position so far throughout fall camp. He's at the Z. And then slot, it's tough because I want Jalen Lloyd to play wide receiver Z, but he's probably going to be that slot receiver. So I put Jalen Lloyd in the slot. Matt Rhule likes bigger slot receivers, so it's either him or Bonner, really, to play there. But probably Lloyd. Probably Lloyd. Lloyd should be. I mean, it might be, honestly, we might switch that. We might have Lloyd at Z and then Nair at slot. Just because Matt Rhule, he likes guys who are about 6'2", 6'3", playing in the slot. Wide receiver room is stacked. The quarterback like Dylan will be explosive. Absolutely, my man. Absolutely. It's going to be ridiculous. I can't wait, right? For so many years, this receiver room has been overrated. We've hyped up guys. Let's take another trip in memory lane, folks. We would hype up guys like Alante Brown, Marcus Fleming, Omar Manning. Can you remember Omar Manning? Xavier Betts. What was going on in the Xavier Betts situation, right? We'd hype up guys constantly. Samori Toure was the only one who we hyped up and was actually good. Tyjon Lindsey is another one that I was talking about the other day. You know, I remember all these guys. Keyshawn Johnson Jr. Man, Demarion Houston. So for the longest time, we'd act like this receiver room was really deep, and it always had talent, but it was never actually good. This receiver room isn't just good, it might be elite, folks. That should get you hyped up. With a true freshman quarterback as well, who's elite as well. We're gonna have a fun offense. We're gonna have a fun offense, guys. We're gonna have a fun offense. Do you think John Butler can raise our DBs to a new level? Yeah, I really do, because he's developed guys in the past to that level, right? At Penn State, he was one of the best defensive coordinators in the country, guys who coached the secondary as well. He's coached guys in the NFL with the Texans, with the Bills, some of the best secondaries in the league. So I think he's a great developer. My only concern about John Butler is his recruiting, because we haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen it, and he's been out of college for 10 years. So that's the only thing I'm worried about with him, is how does his recruiting translate after, being out of the game for a decade? Keep putting your comments in here, guys. I'll try to address all your questions before we get into the season preview. IGC will be our top receiver this year. I don't think so at all. I get he's got some love from the coaching staff. He's going to be in the mix. He might be the first wide receiver off the bench, but starting, no. No, he won't be. If I was Rhule, I would put Jalen Lloyd on Travis Hunter all game and run him up and down the field, tired him out and neutralize one of their players. So you mean Travis Hunter on defense? Okay, maybe. That's assuming Colorado's playing man to man the entire game. Maybe, man. I will say this: Colorado's secondary is deep. They got some ballers in that secondary, but not named Travis Hunter. So that's a concern. But hey, maybe. Yeah, IGC will. He will not be our top receiver. He will. That's not true. It's not true. Bold prediction. Oh, here we go. Oh, you're talking about IGC. I think he'll be in the mix for the slot. Some of the longer, faster fellas. I think IGC is going to play Z for us, wide receiver Z, but which is not slot. I think that's where he's going to be, not in the slot. Because again, he likes those. Matt Rhule likes the taller slot guys. Like I think your primary slot guys are going to be, Carter Nelson, Janiron Bonner. He likes those taller players who are, basically can go all over the field. That's one thing he really likes. You can keep putting stuff in here, folks. We'll get to this. Stefan, thank you so much for the super chat. Glad you're doing something daily. Keep it up. Appreciate that, my man. We'll try to keep it going during the fall. I want to really quick get to something. I'm moving to college in 1 week, folks. So you see this background? You won't see it for too much longer. I will be in the dorm room making my videos for the foreseeable future. So I'm moving to college in a week. I do have some videos in my drafts ready, so you probably won't see my dorm room for another 2 weeks or so. But yeah, that's going to be a transition, and I'll try to keep posting every single day in the fall. We'll at least do probably 5 times a week, which that's enough, right? But it'll be interesting to see that transition to college and how much time I have. But I'll still try to crank out these videos for y'all daily, and we'll get to that. I'll talk about that with you more throughout this live stream. Is Malachi going to start a game this year? Oh, I think for sure. I think there's going to be a game where Malachi starts, and because this receiver room will probably get banged up. And Malachi's a good player, so I think he could probably fight for some more reps. But do I think he starts to begin the year? No. As of right now, he's probably a wide receiver 5 on the depth chart. My dad thinks they should start Hoiberg instead of Raiola because of Raiola's youth. How can I convince him that Raiola is the better choice? Well, one thing I've learned is that you can't convince some fans against Hoiberg because they love this guy. They love Hoiberg. They think he's the truth. And I get it. He's a kid from Nebraska. Here's what I would tell your dad. Dylan Raiola is generational. You do not see too many quarterbacks like him. Okay? Like he's a Tommy Frazier type of recruit. Okay? Ask your dad if he remembers Tommy Frazier coming out of high school and how hyped up he was. Dylan Raiola is on the same note. Okay, you don't want to keep this guy off the field. That's my point, is that he's generational. You cannot be taking away his reps for a quarterback who is not that good in Heinrich Hoiberg, who lost us a lot of football games last year and honestly should have lost us more. Okay, there's not going to be growing pains because he's generational. Generational quarterbacks don't have to sit on the bench for 2 years to figure it out. Okay, maybe guys like Kalen can do that, or TJ Lateef perhaps when he gets on campus. Okay, that's normal. Generational quarterbacks don't have to sit down. They can get going. Trevor Lawrence did it. Adrian Martinez did it. He was in a 5-star. Adrian Martinez did it. He played well. So that's what I'd say to your dad, is that Raio's ready to go. He doesn't need time to sit down and figure out the offense. He's ready to go right now, folks. We have a lot to learn about many of these positional groups. I agree. Specifically this running back room. I'm concerned. I'm as concerned about the depth. I'm concerned about the linebacker room. I'm concerned about the corner room. So, there's murmurs that I hear here and there about how well these guys are playing, but we actually don't know anything definitive until we see the team play in 3 weeks, right? So we have a lot to learn, and we're going to learn out quick. Maybe the hard way. Got to beat Colorado. You're darn right. That Colorado game, folks, will be pivotal for the entire rest of the season. Okay, you lose that Colorado game. I know a lot of fans think, okay, it's a W for the Huskers. We're playing at home. Colorado went 4-8 last year. They're not very deep. They're penciling it as a W. To those fans, I would say, who are we to pencil in W's against a team as talented as Colorado? They're talented. Their starters are good. They got a lot of 4-stars and 5-stars on that team. Okay, they might not be deep. They might have a bunch of new faces, but they're talented. Who are we to pencil in that W just yet? I think we'll win, but I'm concerned. And I think there's a real possibility we lose because they have a good quarterback. We know that for sure. They have a good wide receiver core. We know that for sure. And we know our secondary isn't that good. There's a possibility we lose this game. And if we do lose that game, holy cow, a lot of stuff could happen bad in that season, right? We could end up going on a streak where we lose a bunch of games we shouldn't. Like that Illinois game, like that Purdue game. It's a big game. And that game alone might be the difference between a 9-game winning season, or missing out on a bowl game and only winning 5. Could be the difference. Could be the difference, folks. It's a huge game. So pivotal. Most important game on the schedule. Not even close. So, massive, massive, massive game. Please convince me that the O-line, which was mediocre at best last year, is going to get better this year. New blood. Here's what I would tell you. The offensive line to start off last season graded out as one of the worst in Power 5 football. I'll say that. It was true. Statistics are behind it. But if you go back to those very same stats, you go back to those very same pro football focused websites, okay? Nebraska ranked at the top half of the Big Ten ending off the year against teams like Iowa and Wisconsin. Okay, what Donnie Raiola is doing in that room, the development he's doing is unbelievable. He's turned careers around. Bryce Benhart, we have scrutinized this man for 4+ years now. He had the best season of his career. He was phenomenal. And by no means was he a world beater and a first-round NFL draft pick, but he was good. Ben Scott was good. Okay, you had guys like Ethan Piper and Norton Newelly who were good, and those guys are gone now. But you still have a lot of good stars there. Micah Mazuka's coming in. Feel great about him. When he played best at Florida was against the best of the best teams in the SEC. He rises up for the competition he plays against. Okay, Justin Evans Jenkins, as a second-year player last year, was our 3rd best offensive lineman according to Pro Football Focus. Okay, he's going to be phenomenal. So I would tell you this, that Donnie Royale is a great developer, that our starting 5 is good. What I can't sell you on, and what I'm not going to do right now, tonight, August 11th, is tell you that the depth's good, because I would be lying to you. I don't think this depth is great, and I'm concerned about it. And we need guys like Gunnar Catula to step up, and Henry Lutowski to step up, and Grant Seagren to step up, and Sam Sledge to step up, and Jacob Hood to step up. But I don't think that happens relatively. Maybe one of them do, but you need more than 6 offensive linemen to be successful. So that's the only thing I'm concerned about. Will the team take a big step back after this year? Seems like a lot of our best players are seniors. I've thought about this extensively throughout the offseason. And I didn't really want to get into it because I'm not going to fast forward to next offseason. That's a talking point for 2025. But it is a concern, right? You're losing your 2 best defensive linemen. You're losing Stephon Thompson, John Bullock. You're losing Isaac Gifford, Deshaun Singleton, Tommy Hill, Marquise Buford. You're losing basically every single offensive lineman who's starting. You lose Jamal Banks, Isaiah Nair. So, yeah, you lose a lot of seniors, don't get me wrong. But the depth is so good in a lot of these positional groups that I'm not even concerned. And I know that the exact same thing is going to happen like it did last offseason, where Matt Rhule, he doesn't go all out in the transfer portal, but he's going to take guys in positions of need, and he's going to get guys who are going to play right away. So, I'm not concerned just yet. That's a talking point for December, folks. We'll talk about that by Christmas time. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Anybody watch Iowa's kids scrimmage? I heard about it. Cade McNamara, folks, the starting quarterback for the Iowa Hawkeyes. 7 for 21. Threw multiple interceptions, multiple bobbled snaps. Whew! Iowa's offense, folks. Gonna be rough again. Their defense, though, we can't talk about their defense because it's gonna be insane. We talk about Iowa's defense being great every year. This is the best defense we've seen for them in a very long time. It tells you a lot. Any concern with the depth? Yeah, just talked about it. It's a struggling second core there. Congrats on your big move. Seriously, a day after 2 would be easy to forgive. Just saying. Don't worry. I have content ready for the next 2 weeks plus. I should have daily uploads ready until the season. When the season hits, though, it might get tough with college and everything just adjusting. I'm just gonna have to use my time very well, man. I got nothing to do in the summer, dude. I got nothing to do. This is my job. This is what I do. I make YouTube videos. That's what I do this summer. But it's gonna be harder when college gets in the mix, and I got a lot of stuff outside of that. So we'll see what happens. Frazier was not a good quarterback. Come on, man. What are you talking about? Maybe not a good quarterback in modern day college football. Could Tommy Frazier run a pro style West Coast offense? Maybe not. But he was the best option quarterback in the history of football. So no, you're wrong. He was a good quarterback, just not the type of quarterback that is used nowadays. He was a great quarterback. Should have won Heisman. Raiola has trained with some elite level players. He possibly maybe one of the best quarterbacks we've ever had. Exactly. Right? I truly believe that Dylan Raiola, let's just put on our imagination caps with me, right? Put them on. 3 years down the line, if everything works out for Dylan Raiola, and he is as good as he possibly can be, he reaches his ceiling, he will be the greatest quarterback in Nebraska football history. I truly believe that because he's generational. Okay. Now, he could be a bust. I don't think he will be, but that's the low. But the high is he could be the best ever, and he could win the Heisman. He could be the first overall draft pick. Highs and lows, man. We'll see what happens. Can the offense put opposing defenses in conflict, stacking the box or nickel dime packages? Oh, yeah. I mean, we use the dime a lot on third down situations. That's been my thing that I'm really concerned about is stacking the box, right? We really don't do that in the 3-3-5. Sometimes they put Isaac Gifford in the box, I guess, but this defensive line is so good that we really don't have to do that anymore because we can stop the run with only our defensive line. That's a privilege. Many teams can't do that. When your defensive line is so good, you can stop the running game, only rushing 3 or 4. So we utilize the dime a lot though, and we run mostly nickel. Like if you watch our defense, it's mostly nickel. That's basically what the 3-3-5 is anyway. So, we will. Do you think Barney will have a bigger impact than Malachi? No, Malachi's going to be good. Don't get me wrong. Like Malachi's a stud. The dude's a stud. It's just such a deep receiver room. I think right now I put Malachi wide receiver 5, and then I put Barney wide receiver 6. But no, Malachi's going to get on the field. He's going to get on the field a lot. Colorado and Rutgers are toughest games from the first 7. Completely agree. Rutgers is tough, dude. Rutgers is tough. And we play that at home. And I love our home field advantage. Don't get me wrong. That's likely going to be an 11 a.m. game. I've been to a lot of games at Memorial Stadium. I've been at ones where they're rocking and your ears are just they're bleeding because of how loud it is. And I've been at games where they're kind of quiet. Those 11 a.m. games are mostly quiet. So, Rutgers could come in and beat us. I truly believe it. I predicted it in my prediction video. That's going to be a tough game, man. In Colorado, we know how tough that's going to be. That wide receiver room is deep, and it's a great problem to have. But in my opinion, Lloyd, Coleman, Barney, and Nelson got to get touches. I agree. You got to get those guys on the field because that's the future. But all of them will. Like Lloyd, Coleman, Barney will be in the mix. Only one guy I'm concerned about is Card Nelson just because how deep this receiver room is. But he's running with the second team recently, so he should be in there. Looks like Wiltfong is predicting Sanders to Tennessee. Yeah. We swung, we missed. I was wrong. Hey, man, again, like I said, I'll tell you when I'm right. I'll be the first one to tell you when I'm right. I'll be the first one to tell you when I'm wrong. I was wrong about David Sanders. I wanted to believe the hype, man. I was drinking the Kool-Aid that night. I was like, I'm feeling good. David Sanders on campus. He's loving it. The fans showed up. You know what? I'm going to release a video talking about how I think he's going to commit. Whatever. I bit the bad part or whatever. I don't even know. I don't even know the phrase. But anyways, David Sanders is going to commit Tennessee. It is what it is. It is what it is. You consider 50% completion rate a good quarterback? Again, man, like it was a different offense. It wasn't a West Coast offense. They're not throwing the ball 40, 50 times a game. He wasn't asked to have a 70% completion percentage, man. It's just that's stupid. You're getting the chat derailed here. That's just that's terrible. It's terrible. What team on our schedule are you most excited to play this year? USC in the Coliseum. That's going to be different. It's just going to be a new experience. I would say UCLA, but that's a home game. So, hey, I just bought a UCLA shirt yesterday. A lot of people give me some crap for wearing Creighton gear on this channel. I might wear that UCLA shirt on the week we play UCLA. The comment section is you guys are going to be mad at me if I wear that shirt. Buffs in the house. Week 2 it's on. What up, my man? Hope you're having a good night. Week 2, man. You guys cannot stand the headlines, man. The whole Athlon article. It looked like it wasn't true, but man, I'm excited for that game, bro. Hope you're there. It's gonna be ridiculous, dog. It's gonna be crazy. You guys, you're gonna be up for a good one, my man. Gonna be going. Good seeing you, my dog. All right, hold on. Let's get back to all these. Hold on. Ooh, comment section. A lot of stuff here. All right. Because of the time Nebraska ran the ball or option 8 for... Oh, we're not doing the same. I'm not responding to your Tommy Frazier stuff. I don't know why you hate this man. Did Chris end up as Iowa's OC? No, he did not. I can't remember who they hired. Lester, was it Tim Lester was his name, maybe? Something along those lines? Somebody let me know. Tim Lester. There it is. I was right. I don't know how I remember that. Can't run with Colorado. We will lose Rutgers, USC, Wisconsin, Iowa, UCLA. So you think we'll... Oh, you said we are a talented 5-win team until proven otherwise. I don't mind your logic. And this is what I try to tell Nebraska fans, because there's so many Husker fans who say our floor is 7 wins. Our floor is like 4 wins. Okay, we're talented. We have a good team. But we haven't made a bowl game in 8 years. And I want to see it before I believe it, right? I want to see it first. So I agree with you, and I get your skepticism, but we're going to be fine. We're going to be very fine. Don't worry about that, man. We're going to win about 7 or 8. But I agree with your floor. I think the floor's around there. Don't get me wrong. Holy cow. Yeah, I mean, you guys are just going off on this Tommy Frazier thing. Let's not talk about Tommy. Come on, Tommy Frazier was elite. This dude was a Heisman quarterback. Put that one to bed, or he should have won Heisman. Let's put it to bed. All right. How long will it take for Dylan Rhule to break Adrian Martino's total career offense record? That's tough. It'll probably take him 3 years. Probably at the end of his 3rd year. I hope he stays all 4 years, but I don't think it'll happen. But he's going to be good. And Adrian would always get banged up. That was his problem too. Adrian got banged up. So I think Dylan will break it pretty easily after his junior year. Dare we hope for 3,000 passing yards this year? It's funny. I have a video coming out that I recorded last night talking about just that and some more statistics predictions. I don't know when I'm dropping that video. I think it'll be maybe Friday. Watch out. But yeah, I'll address that then. I agree with Wilson. Dylan will go down as Nebraska's best quarterback ever. He's built different. When I watched him play, it was simply electric. Yeah, I get, and that's just if everything happens right. Like, I don't want to sit here because I think it's unfair to project the world of him immediately. But if everything goes right and he's as good as we know he can be, yes, he'll be the best ever. Am I going to sit here and necessarily predict it? No, not yet, because I don't want to put those expectations on a 19-year-old kid. But I think I'm not saying, I'm just saying I think he's going to be pretty good. All right. You guys are just going off on this Tommy Frazier thing, man. I love this team and the state. I'm tired of having high expectations and being disappointed every year. No more expectations. That was me during Scott Frost era, man. Like that, Adam, I completely understand where you're coming from. All right. Like during 2022, that was my exact opinion. Like I was not excited for 2022 at all. I had no expectations. I wanted Scott Frost to be gone, and we sucked again. And I was just no emotions, right? I had emotions. I tried to not have emotions, but I get where you're coming from. But this team's gonna be good. Matt Rhule's different. Let's get hyped up for 1 year. 1 year, let's get hyped up. Okay, maybe not. I got hyped up for last year too, and then I still remember that Minnesota game, man. I was in shambles. Shambles. I don't know if any of you guys, again, this is before I blew up, but I had a live stream after that Minnesota game, and I was just so mad. Gosh, that was terrible. When you give up expectations, that's when you really start losing. Yeah, that was me in 2022, man. I had no expectations under Frost. I was done. I was just, this guy's not it. It's over. Absolutely. I don't believe Matt Rhule until he proves on the field. Until then, he's a used car salesman. Come on, man. You got to trust him a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm not asking to give him your full trust, but at least trust what he's saying. Just a tiny bit. Optimism is free, and I for one have to actively cling to optimism wherever I can find it. I agree, dude. I agree. And That's me most of the time with Nebraska. Most of the time. Now, let's just say we win 5 games this year and we miss out on a bowl game. I'm going to be on team pessimism, right? You guys might not like me anymore because I'll be pretty mad. But I'm very optimistic because I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to be really good. See you, Buff says, thanks, man. We're rivals by like channel. Appreciate that, my man. Absolutely appreciate that. I'm excited, dude. I'm excited for that week 2 game. I get we're rivals. You know what is weird? I have a lot of good relationship with Buffalo fans, man. There's some Buffalo fans who comment on my videos and we're buds. And then there's some other Buffalo fans who be commenting and I'm like, bro, get out of here. You're commenting every day. Like, get a life. But I appreciate you, man. I like some Buffalo fans and I like what you guys bring to this rivalry. You know, because I remember when we played Colorado in 2019 and 2018 and that rivalry was there, but it wasn't like this, man. This is crazy. Like, it's hatred back again, man. I like that. So, appreciate what you guys are doing. I like the rivalry. I like all the hatred in the air. So, I can't wait to see you week 2, my man. Keep putting stuff in the comment section, guys. Let's get going. And then we'll start talking about the season and some of my predictions. You never know about Sanders. It's Tennessee, man. It's Tennessee. I think it'll be Tennessee. I think we have a better shot at Jackson Cantwell. Yep, exactly. Yep, his mom grew up in Crete. He should be. If everything goes right, you win 8-9 games, I think he'll commit. I really do. I like Jackson Cantwell a lot. Husker power. What's up, Lord Tyne? Hope you're having a good night. How we feel about Satterfield's play calling? I'm concerned. I'm absolutely concerned about his play calling. People forget that. People forget the number one reason we wanted this guy fired. I wasn't personally on that train. I know a lot of people were. But a lot of people wanted him fired because of his play calling alone, how terrible it was, specifically in the 4th quarter. I mean, it was awful. Okay, if we go back to that Maryland game, if we go back to that Michigan State game, the situational awareness, the play calling, absolutely horrendous. And what was the worst thing was we would be phenomenal running the football, and he would go away from it and put the ball in Heinrich Haarberg's hands. He'd fumble it away or he'd throw a pick. Play calling's off. I think it should get better, and I think Glenn Thomas, although he's not calling plays, will play a part in basically changing up this offense and he can pass the football a little bit more. So I think we should be all right. We should be better. And at the end of the day, I will say this, Satterfield didn't have talent last year. He has talent this year. It's a lot easier to call plays when you got Dylan Ryle at quarterback. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. All right. Optimism is both free and contagious, you're darn right. But I will say this, Jason. The most depressed I've been is when I drink the Kool-Aid, right? And I'm drinking the Kool-Aid this year. Don't get me wrong. Which means if we're bad this year somehow, which I don't think is going to happen, I will be really, really bad. Okay? Again, like the maddest I was at Nebraska football season, probably 2019 or 2021. Because I was drinking the Kool-Aid both those seasons, and we were terrible. So, but I think Adam had a good thing to say. Like, again, the more you buy in, the more you get bits when things don't go your way. So, hopefully, I don't think it'll happen this year, though. We're finally going to be good. Everybody ignores the tight ends because they're just a slower distraction. I'm not sure. Please elaborate. You know, we don't get... Okay, now we're talking about Crouch here. Oh, hold on. Let me get back to this. Never mind me says... We can agree to disagree. Still going to support your channel because I like your content. I'm with you on Raiola, but I don't think he'll be long enough to break AM's record. We might have him 2 to 3 years. We'll have him 3 years. I mean, he can't leave after 2 years, so we'll have him 3 years for sure. Again, your take on Tommy Frazier was odd. That was odd. Like that dude is a legend. He won his 2 national titles. I don't care who your quarterback is. If you win 2 national titles as a starter, you're fine. So I don't get your take there. That was something, man. Agree to disagree, though. Bowl prediction, double-digit win total this year, including bowl win. I could see it. I think we have 9, including our bowl win. So I had us at 8 wins plus 1. We beat Mizzou. I think in the Citrus Bowl is my prediction. So I could see it. Just got to win one game we're not supposed to win. Whether that's USC, whether that's Minnesota, or not Minnesota, whether that's Wisconsin. You know, we got to win one game, you got to win. Or you're not supposed to win. And then also, you got to take care of business in the games you're supposed to win. We don't do that, right? We continuously go into West Lafayette and play Purdue and lose that football game. We always lose Purdue. Okay? We lose to Illinois a lot. We lose to teams we have no business losing to. That can't happen this year. Can't happen. Are we going to pass too much this year because of a good quarterback? No. Okay, Whipple was air raid. That's not happening this year. No, it's going to be about a 50-50. Last year was unheard of. Just checking in. Wilson got split. I'll watch this tomorrow. Hey, appreciate that, man. Hope you have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow when you tune up on this. But it's been a good live, man. We got a lot more to talk about. So, everybody, hope we got your glass. We got some more toasts coming up in this live stream, folks. We got some more toasts. All right, I'm almost caught up here in the comment section. Then we'll get into my season preview. I think the skills, except Arby's, are there this year. Just got to overcome the deficiencies on the O-line. I agree. All right, guys. Let's get into the season preview and go over the schedule and go over some win totals. And let's just talk about these games. Let's have an honest conversation. UTEP. 3 weeks from today, we will be discussing the UTEP game on this channel. Win, loss, tie. Won't be a tie. We know that. But UTEP is coming to town. Brand new head coach in Scotty Waldron. Brand new team. A lot of transfers. They won 3 games last year. Dylan Raiola's debut. Memorial's going to be packed. It's going to be hyped up. It's going to be rowdy. 2:30 kick. I have a toast for you guys. Raise your glasses. Water, soda, beverage, milk, juice, whatever it is. Raise your glass to playing a non-Power 5 team to start the season. We have not opened up a season against a non-Power 5 team since, 2019 against South Alabama? Every single year after that, we've played a Big Ten squad. And we've lost every single one of those games. We haven't started off the season 1-0 since 2019. So that deserves a cheers that we finally get a layup game. We can finally just, we won the first game. We're good. We're perfect. We're still in the mix for the Big Ten title. We're still in the mix for the college football playoff. The most deflating thing as a college football fan is losing that first game because it feels like you're screwed from there. Like you've already failed the first objective. You're already out of the mix for the playoff. All of your goals that you set the entire year are already dead. All of the predictions people said are already dead. Thank goodness we play UTEP. So that's my cheers, folks. We play an easy opponent week 1. That's a W. Let's put that off the side. That's W. Let's talk about Colorado. Like I said a couple minutes ago on the stream, that Colorado game dictates the entire season. You lose that game, which is a real possibility, you could perhaps win 4 or 5 games. Not saying it'll happen, but if you lose that game, anything could happen. If you win that game, you beat Deion Sanders, you beat Shador, you beat Travis Hunter. The crowd is going to be nuts, unlike anything we've ever seen before. And you start off the year 2-0. We could win 10 games. Truly believe it. We could win 10 games. That season is a catalyst. Or not a game is a catalyst. It's going to dictate a lot of things. Got to win that football game. And I'm concerned. A lot of people are penciling the W. They're penciling it in. They think, it's over. We're going to beat Colorado. They're fighting for clicks. They're talented, man. Who are we? We haven't made a bowl game since 2016. Who are we to pencil in W's against a Power 5 team? Any Power 5 team. Let alone a team as talented as Colorado. They're a good team, man. I'm concerned. And say what you want and how hyped up our boys are going to be for that game. We're going to be hyped up. Don't get me wrong. Our boys are going to be flying off the line of scrimmage. They're going to be ready to play. But in that same grain, do you think Colorado's players are not going to be ready to go? They feed off the energy. Oh my gosh. Deion is going to get them riled. I don't know what Deion said before they played Nebraska the first time, but they were full of hatred last year. They hated us. They wanted to beat us bad. Deion is going to get them working. That pregame speech is going to move mountains by Deion, bro. And they're going to feed off of that energy. They're going to feed through the hatred. They want to hear the boos. They want to hear the crowd getting loud against them. Okay? They're going to be ready to go and play as well. So I'm concerned about that Colorado game. I think we win because I think we're more talented, and I think Matt Rhule's a better coach. But holy crap, if we lose, folks, we're in for a long year. And that I don't want to have that sour taste in my mouth losing to Colorado again, man. Can't do it. We've done it 3 times in the last, 6, 7 years. Can't do it again. I think we win, though, because I think our trenches are better. I think Raiola shows out. And if we play our brand of football, we run the ball down the throat. We control the line of scrimmage. We control the tempo of the ball game. Okay? It's impossible for us to lose. Last year, we played Colorado in Boulder. They controlled the tempo of the ball game. Okay? They were throwing it down our throats. Okay? Even when we came back and Jeff Sims had that big run, it still felt like Colorado would win because we were playing their brand of football. Okay? We were letting them do whatever they wanted, and we were just playing up to it. Not happening this year. It's different. It's a different story in Lincoln, boys. We're getting a W. We're getting a W. But you better hope we don't. All right. Northern Iowa. Next up. W. Move on. I mean, that's going to be a night game, Memorial. It's not even a trap game. They're not that good. They're not as good as they used to be. That's the W FCS team. Cheers to playing an FCS team once again and actually beating them soundly and getting the reserves in. Perhaps we'll see Heinrich Hoiberg play. Perhaps we'll even see Danny Kalin play in that game. So cheers to playing Northern Iowa. Right. 3-0. Feels good, doesn't it? You're sitting there Sunday night, after the Northern Iowa game, we win 60-3, not even close. We're 3-0. We're maybe ranked even. And you're sitting there and you're saying, man, I haven't felt this good since 2016. Feels darn good, doesn't it? Everything's still in front of us. We control our own destiny. Now it's time for the Big Ten slate. Illinois comes to Lincoln on a Friday night. Sold out crowd. 400 straight salad Memorial Stadium. Trap game, if you will, with the Brett Bielema squad that's beat us before. And I know we beat them last year, but let's not forget 2021. So that's a tough game for us. It's going to be a tough game. And I truly believe they're going to have a good defense, and I truly believe they're going to figure some things out in offense that wasn't the case last year. But with that being said, once again, it's a night game. It's a Friday night game. The student sections are going to be nuts. The stadium's going to be nuts. They're not losing that. They're not losing that game. 4-0. Pencil that baby in. I know I said I don't want to pencil in games against Power 5 opponents, but pencil that one in, guys. Let's get hyped. 4-0. All right. 4-0. Now you take a trip. You're on the road for the first time this year, a month after the season starts. You're actually going on the road. You're not used to playing the road at all. And you go over to West Lafayette. A tough place to play, to say the least. We've struggled there time and time again. Whenever we play in West Lafayette, it's always the worst conditions, right? You're playing, it's mucky, it's cloudy, it's drizzling, the field is tore up. Purdue fans are there in droves for whatever reason. Purdue Pete is there looking creepy as ever. It's a tough environment to play, man. Like Adrian Martinez said the other day on a podcast, can't remember which one. He said that Purdue was actually his least favorite team to play against because of just how tough that stadium was. Purdue was, right? And that's something I told you all offseason. Like, I'm scared of this game. It's a trap game. And I think Ryan Walters, their head coach, gets too much blame because he's a darn good coordinator and he is a darn good defensive mind. Their defense is going to be stout. Now, I've said all offseason, I think there's going to be a game where Dylan Raiola struggles and throws a couple picks. This is that game. But, with that being said, we're so talented, we still win. 5-0. 5-0. Nebraska's 5-0. All right. Rutgers comes to town next week. Homecoming weekend, 11 a.m. kick most likely. Rutgers is a team that's on the up and up. They made a bowl game last year. They have a top 20 defense in college football. They have a top 10 running back in college football. They have a great head coach who's honestly Matt Rhule 2.0 and Greg Schiano. Or he's basically Matt Rhule before Matt Rhule. This is a loss for us, in my opinion. Okay. Because Rutgers is the team that this brand of team we have always lost against in the last decade. Okay, we do not beat these type of teams. A hard-nosed, run-first team that is stout on defense. We do not beat teams like that. Ever. Okay, Rutgers does not turn the ball over. And they're going to absolutely take the ball away from us a couple times too. We just don't beat guys like this. And I have to see it to believe it. I think Rutgers is on the up and up. I think they'll win 7-8 games this year. They have a good quarterback in Callie Manis, who's beat us twice now. He's our kryptonite. He's not a great quarterback, but he beats us. Their defense is phenomenal. I think we lose that game. And again, this crowd's going to be loud against Colorado. This crowd's going to be loud against Illinois. I don't think it's going to be allowed for an October game at 11 a.m. Perfect time for Rutgers to swoop in and get a W against an undefeated Husker team. 5-1. But you know what people are going to do? People are going to get greedy. And they're going to come in the chat and say, 5-1, Wilson, Rutgers is an easy W. Who are we to be mad about 5-1? Think about it. 5-1. You lost to Rutgers, so what? You're still sitting at a great position. You're still one win away from a bowl game. You're still in the mix for the Big Ten title game. Come on. Let's move on. Indiana, you go over to Bloomington. Brand new head coach. Bunch of talent on that team, honestly. Good receiver core, good quarterback. Doesn't matter. You win. 6-1. Cool. Ohio State, loss. That's a loss. That's a humbling game. That's going to be a humbling game for Nebraska. Ohio State's in the mix for the Natty this year. This is the best team they've had since Urban Meyer left. I don't even think it's competitive. I think we get blown out. I really do. It's a humbling game, man. And that's what it's going to have to be. In order to take steps as a program, you've got to have humbling games like this. And Nebraska fans are going to be feeling on top of the world. They're going to be like, oh, we're 6-1. We could pull this crazy upset. We might be hyped up going into the week. The point spread might go down. Doesn't matter. We lose. We lose. You know what? If we played that game in Lincoln, I might be feeling some sort of way. Not in Columbus, though. Not in Columbus. Listen. The common theme I want to tell you guys about the season is that we're taking baby steps. We're taking baby steps. The talent's good. We have a long ways to go. The team is good, but we're not Big Ten championship ready. The team is good, but are we great? Are we elite? Not yet. That's what I'm trying to tell people. But the reason why we're so hyped up this year and why we think we're so good, and we are good, is because we haven't even had talent like this in the past. We haven't had a team that's good. Okay, so when we finally have talent for the first time in a decade, and we finally have good players on this team, on this defensive line, offensive line, we're expecting the world. Just wait till next year and the year after that. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be wild. One thing I want to shout out before I get to the rest of the season prediction videos, or not videos, but the rest of the games. We have 4 games left. We're sitting at 6-2 on my predictions. Cheers. We have another toast to make today, folks. To the coaching staff at Nebraska, not Matt Rhule, but his coaching staff. Because this is the best coaching staff Nebraska's had in a long freaking time. Okay, I want to ask you something. When was the last time Nebraska had an offensive or defensive coordinator that teams wanted to poach? That we thought might be a next head coach? That teams wanted? You couldn't tell me. Tony White's that guy. Okay, that's a good thing other schools wanted. That tells you that Matt Rhule's doing something right. Okay, you think that schools haven't called Evan Cooper? I know he's no longer with the program, but schools are calling Evan Cooper. Schools have been calling Terrence Knight. You better believe they're calling him. They want pot roast. Schools have been calling Donnie Raiola. You better believe. Schools have been calling EJ Barthel. That was the big rumor this offseason. Okay, so when your coaching staff is wanted by other schools, that tells you you're doing something right. Matt Rhule hired a darn good staff. So to that, we make a cheers. 6-2. You go ahead and play UCLA at the crib. Listen, too many people think that UCLA is an automatic victory. They think, oh, brand new head coach, Hassan Foster, whatever. It's a W for the Huskers. I will go back to what I've said. Who are we to pencil in W's against talented Power 5 squads? Who are we to do that? UCLA is darn talented. And they won 8 games last year. People forget that. We're acting like UCLA is just some scrub program. Oh my gosh. UCLA, easy W. They've never made bowl games. They won 8 games last year, guys. They're doing something right. Ethan Garber's a good quarterback. We lose. That's a trap game, dude. And you're coming off of getting your butt beat by Ohio State. I think we lose that ball game every day of the week. I mean, not every day of the week necessarily, but too many people are penciling that in. Like, UCLA is a tough team. They're a tough team. And we haven't been good enough in the past to pencil in W's against teams like that. But in the same grain, let's take it to the next week. We're 6-3. And we go ahead and play our friends, the Trojans, in the Coliseum, USC. I'm going to pencil in a W here. I'm not penciling it in, but I'm just gonna write that. Oh, W. Oh, it's on there. We're not gonna touch it anymore. It's on the sheet. I put a W down. Now, do I feel overly confident about the W? No, I don't. But I'm going to tell you this. What has been Matt Rhule's best victory in Lincoln been so far throughout his career? I'll answer it for you. His best win was against Northwestern last year. That was his best win. The toughest team he's ever beat. That's crazy, right? Like, we won 5 games last year, and that was the toughest team we beat. So Matt Rhule, to this day, does not have a quality win under his name, to be honestly real. USC is going to change that. We're going to go into the Coliseum. We've lost 2 consecutive games. We're pissed off. We're ready to go. And we're going to beat the Trojans. And I'll tell you this. This defense, if we think it's going to be elite, which I believe it could be, it's going to shut down USC's offense. And I'll tell you this. If we make USC play our tempo in a brand of football, it's over. We've already won. So I feel confident about that. All right. 2 games left. 7-3. Wisconsin at the crib. We have not beat Wisconsin since I was in grade school. So we haven't beat them since 2012. When the last time we beat Wisconsin, I was in 1st grade. I'm in college now. That puts things into perspective. Luke Fickell's a good head coach. They're a talented team. They're good defensively. Their line is good. I don't think this is the year. I need to see to believe it against Wisconsin. I don't think that this is the year. And last year was the year. We should have beat them last year. That was the worst Wisconsin team we've seen in decades. And we still couldn't do it. And we had a million opportunities to win that game. I can't see it this year. At least not yet. A lot of things can change. That's the 11th game on the schedule. A lot of things can change from then to now. But as of right now, I don't see it. That's a loss. 7-4. Let's take a trip to Iowa City against our hated rivals, the Iowa Hawkeyes. We always play better in Kinnick. I don't know why. We feed off that crowd. We feed off that environment, the hatred. And we get that W. Listen, it's going to be good defense. 2 good defenses, 2. Here's the difference between last year. Last year it was 2 good defenses and 2 bad offenses. This year it's 2 good defenses, 1 bad offense, and 1 good offense. We have the good offense. That's why we get the W against Iowa. 8-4 is my prediction, folks. It's going to be a fun year. It's going to be a fun year. And again, I'm trying to tell you guys, it's baby steps, though. Like, we're not going to go all out this year. This is not the year. This is not the Big Ten title run year. This is not the playoff run year. It's coming, but that's not what Matt Rhule does. We take baby steps. Okay, our talent's good. It's not elite yet. Okay, our schedule's good. Is it really great, though? I don't know. Are we going to win all the games we're supposed to? Probably not. Are we going to get a big upset win? Probably not. Maybe USC, but... So, 8 wins, and you're going to take that every single day of the week. Who are we to get mad about 8 wins with what we've had to deal with the last 8 years? We can't complain. But the most important thing of that, cheers to making a bowl game. Pencil that down. We are making a bowl game in 2024. The streak is over. The longest drought in Power 5 football. Nebraska will make a bowl game and will be represented in the offseason. But the most important thing is we were going to have 15 more practices. And the boys will continue to develop and play very well. Cheers to that, folks. Baby steps. Baby steps indeed. Let's take it to the comment section, guys. I got a lot. Holy cow. I got a lot to catch up on here, folks. Let's see what we got here. If we can run the ball and keep a lead, I think they'll keep pounding it. A lot of good running backs. When we fling it, they will. Again, it's going to be about 50-50 for sure. But I agree with you. Like, I want this to be a run-heavy team. The problem is, and I'll tell you this. If we had an elite running back, like, okay, let's say we had Judkins at Ohio State, or we had Jaden Ott, who is the college running back. If we had just an elite running back, a world beater, holy cow, I would be here sitting and saying 11 wins, 10 wins, because that would take your team to a different level. We just don't have an elite running back. We don't. That's our flaw. That's our big flaw. This running back room is good. It's not great. It's good. It's not great. The only way for it to be great is to have a really great running back, an elite running back at the top of it. It's going to be a long 3 weeks. The closer it gets, the more time drags. I agree, my man. I agree. It'll go quick for me, though, because I got a lot of stuff to do the next 3 weeks. But maybe if that's not awesome for me, though, because I'm going to be busy as heck. Has Adrian made the Jets' final roster? He has not. They haven't even made cuts yet. I don't think he will. I don't think he will. Because nowadays, NFL teams only keep 2 quarterbacks on their active roster. Well, the Jets have Aaron Rodgers and Tyrod Taylor. Those are their 2. If they keep 3, could be Adrian. Could be. Wilson, have you thought about teaming up with Justin for post-game streams? That'd be awesome. We have. We've talked about that. Me and Justin talked about that. I want to say May or June. So we've been on that. I don't know what's going to happen yet, though, for that because I'm going to go to a lot of games this year. So I don't know. But here's what I can promise you guys right now. On this channel, you expect a live stream Friday night before every single game. We're going to go over our final predictions. We're going to get hype. And then you could expect a stream Sunday night. Okay. We will be talking about the game, what happened, and we're going to be flipping the script to next week. Okay. So you can expect those 2 streams. And then I don't know what's happening. I don't know if I'm going to do a post-game stream or not. We'll still figure that out. Probably not for the UTEP game because I'm going to be there, but we have a lot of time to figure it out. Cheers to that. So tired of starting off with a conference game. Absolutely, man. We finally have an easy game to start off the year. Cheers to playing UTEP, dub. Guys, cheers to that. Colorado's culture is the worst in the country. You're right. I agree. Their culture's bad, but they're talented. They're darn talented. That's what we can't say. We can't say they're not talented. Let's see. Thanks for bringing up those games from last year. If I had a dog, I would kick it. Big scheduling has not been kind to us since joining the conference. Finally, we get a break. You know what's funny? I don't know if any of you guys remember this, but before Oregon and everybody joined the conference, our 2024 schedule was supposed to be brutal. We were supposed to play Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State in the same year. Thank goodness we don't have to deal with that anymore. So, but yeah, it's been brutal. We finally get a good year. And, you know, it's a pretty formidable schedule still. Like, we still play Ohio State. We still play Iowa, Wisconsin, USC, UCLA, but it's not as hard as it used to be. Neon DN will have the bus ready. Yeah, again, say what you want about Colorado, but holy cow, I bet Deion's going to get those boys fired up. I mean, there's going to be some bulletin board agenda stuff. They're going to make up some narratives. They're going to, make up the narrative Nebraska's, maybe insulting them or whatever, but they're going to get ready to go. You better believe that. Whatever works for them, they're going to figure it out. Hey, Jeffrey, appreciate you joining the squad, joining the membership. Hey guys, I don't really plug the membership too much, but I have a $1 membership on my channel. It's $1 a month. It's just, just to kind of help me out a little bit, and you get some stickers here. We got Eric Crouch, Tommy, Sue, Raiola. So if you want to get those stickers, $1 a month, let's throw it out there. I'm not begging for it. I'm not begging for your money, but join the family, man. We got a lot of people in that membership program now, so I appreciate you guys who have got that. The reserves don't even get the game against FCS opponents. I agree, Corey. That's the big thing. That's the big thing, right? Like we need to dominate Northern Iowa because I want to see those scrubs get in the game. I want to see freshmen get in the game. Like I want to see those guys in action because too many times we schedule bad teams and we play our starters the entire way because it's a close game until the fourth quarter. That can't happen this year. It can't happen against UTEP either. I want to take care of business against UTEP. We are 5-0. Yay. Yep. It's gonna be fun, man. We're gonna be ranked. It's gonna be an exciting time. We are so talented, really. Just a quarterback, receivers, and a decent offense. Corey. Am I saying our talent is through the roof and at an elite level? No, I'm not saying that. Let's put this on a scale for you, Corey. I compare this team a lot to 2016. Okay, 2016, we weren't the best team in the world, but we had an easy schedule. We had a talented squad. We had a good O-line and D-line. We had a good defense, and we won a lot of football games. We ended with like 9 wins that year. We started off 7-0. That's what I compare this team to. Now, the difference between those two teams is that we're moving up as a program. They were moving down as a program. Like 2016 was the last good year for Nebraska. Okay. 2024 is a stepping year. Like it's a baby step year. We're just going to continue to get better. So we are very talented, man. Quarterback's talented. Running back's deep. Wide receivers talented and deep. O-line is starting 5 is good. D-line's one of the best in the country. Linebacker's deep. The secondary is a question mark, but it's talented. There's talent there. There's talent. There aren't guys who I think have no future. That's the difference, right? Like we'd have guys start in the past, like Markel Dismuke was a guy who started in Scott Frost era and played safety. That dude had no future. Like he was never going to go to the NFL, but he started for us. Every single starter right now for Nebraska, I think, can go to the NFL. That tells you a lot. Please don't get on that Rutgers hype train. I'm in on it, man. I'm in on it, dude. I think Rutgers is going to be good. I really do. Because Rutgers is exactly the team that succeeds in the Big Ten. They have a good defense. They have a good running game. They have a stable quarterback. And they have a darn good head coach. Do I think they're going to be a world beater? No, but I think they're going to be tough, guys. I really do. I really do. I just can't sit here and predict 7-0. I'm not going to do that. There's got to be one game we lose there, and it's either Purdue or Rutgers. I'd rather say Purdue. Or I'd rather say Rutgers. We could beat Rutgers, but still play a bad game on the road and drop when we shouldn't. Yeah, again, it's either going to be that game or Purdue. We always struggle at Purdue. We always struggle. Exactly. Who are we playing about 5-1? Exactly. You're right. We can't complain about that. 5-1 is perfect. We are perfectly fine with 5-1 and being in a situation for a bowl game. That's perfectly fine, guys. Rutgers is going to be a wrestling match worse than I could forecast as a wash. I won't guarantee any wins. Yeah, I mean, Rutgers is going to be a tough game. We could win, but we were going to come out bruised, bloody, some injuries. Okay, that's what's going to happen against Rutgers. You're either going to lose a close one, which I think is going to happen, or you're going to come out bruised and injured, and you might have a couple guys go down. That's just the way Rutgers plays. We'll see what happens. IU spooky. I mean, they got some guys there, but they're a first-year team. I don't think it's going to happen. But I like their offense. I really do. 7-0 after Ohio State. I ain't even playing. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Not me. I'm not doing that. One game at a time? You're darn right, Joseph. One game at a time. Like, we can sit here, and this is something I talked about in the past. Like, everybody likes to make the season prediction videos and talk about the year, but it doesn't matter because things change every single week. Guys go down. Storylines change. Okay? So, season predictions don't mean anything, but it's just fun to talk about. It's a celebration. It's a celebratory stream today, Joseph. We're raising some toasts. We're having some fun. Yeah, just wait for it. We'll still have injuries and no talent on the O-line. Bro, we got talent, bro. We got talent on the O-line. It's just the depth. Drink the Kool-Aid, Corey. Come on, brother. Bro, seriously, nobody has been calling Donnie? You're kidding. You're wrong, man. You're wrong. So, guys, Corey, you got to start drinking some Kool-Aid. Like, just a little bit. I'm not asking you to take to take this and fully gulp it down. I'm not asking you to chug this Kool-Aid. I'm not asking you to, man. But I'm asking you to take a little sip. Take a little sip. It's not going to hurt you. Just a little sip, right? You don't have to go all in. I'm not asking you to go all in. Okay? But right now, we're on a bus. Okay? We're on the train, right? I know my boy Dion's on the train. I know my boy Jason's on the train. I know my boy Calvin's on the train. Okay? We're all on the train together. All these guys in the chat, we're on the train. And we're on a train to optimism. We're on the Matt Rhule train to success. Okay? Get on this train, Corey. We got open seats. We got seats behind us. We got more seats for you. Get on this train, man. You can get off whenever you want. Okay? We will tell the conductor to stop the train for you to get off. But we want you on here. This is the train of optimism. This is the train of Matt Rhule taking us to the promised land. Okay? I'm on it. All y'all are on it. You're just on the outside looking in, and you're laughing at us for being on it. Whatever. Well, we're on the train. You're not. So I'm asking you, get on the train, take a glass, take a little sip. You don't have to down it. There's people who are down on this, but take a little bit of a sip. Because we're sipping the Kool-Aid tonight because we're celebrating. We're celebrating the offseason. Cheers, folks. I'm starting to get drunk here in Oklahoma. See, man, you got to be sipping on soda, my man. We can't pencil any wins. You're darn right, Joseph. You're darn right. But where would I be as a content creator if I couldn't talk about the entire season? You're darn right. Yeah, I agree with you, Joseph. But I agree. We're on the same page. We're on the same page. So basically, we can lose every game but two. I agree. We could lose every game besides those two. Those are the only two I'll pencil in for sure. But I feel confident. I feel confident in the others. Just saying Lincoln Riley going to take a lot of heat at UC if they lose at home. Oh, yeah. But Lincoln Riley might be on the way out anyways. They won 7 games last year. They were bad. I mean, they were not good last year. So I think it's a game that we will be in there to mix. Oh, yeah. Guys, I forgot that Eric Bieniemy is now with USC or now with UCLA. I totally forgot that. I will say this, guys. Eric Bieniemy, I know a lot of you guys are Kansas City fans. Eric Bieniemy's trash because I'm a Commanders fan. I'm a Washington Commanders fan. Feel free to roast me in the comment section. Eric Bieniemy was at Washington last year, and bro was awful. I mean, just awful. He got carried by Andy Reid. So Eric Bieniemy's not going to help out the Bruins that much. I'll tell you that much. He will not help them out. Maybe he does. I don't know, but I doubt it. I was worried about Eric Bieniemy possibly going to Colorado, though, because I think that would be a good mix, and he was an alum of Colorado. I think Iowa's improvement on offense will be marginal. Not if Cade McNamara starts. Dude is horrendous. Cade McNamara is awful. He's awful, dude. It is baby steps. I'll say 7. See, okay. Okay, Corey. You took a little bit of a sip right there. 7 wins. You took the ball. You took a little bit of sip. I appreciate that. Good. I will complain about every loss regardless of the circumstance. That's what we do as fans, man. That's what we do. We will complain. You know, we could beat Ohio State. We could play a darn good game against Ohio State and barely lose, and fans will be like, "Gosh, dang, our program sucks." Dang, man, that's what we do here. That's what we do. We're fans. We care. We all care. We all want to win. That is what it is. I'm up there with you, my man. We were a couple field goals away from 8 wins last year. It's true. We were also a bad defense away from winning like 3 games last year, 2 games last year. So, again, to each their own, right? Things take away, things give. It is what it is. Do you think Dylan could be a top 10 quarterback? No. I'm not going to put that on him. Not yet. Not this year. We may lose to Colorado. Watch out. I agree with you, dude. I agree. We might. Colorado's talented. Again, Deion's going to get the boys ready. He's going to get the boys ready. Adrian helped the Jets win the preseason game. Yep. Again, I'm a Commanders fan. I was watching that game. I wanted my Commanders to win. Adrian was just torching us left and right, dude. He was awesome. Adrian's going to be a good quarterback. Hopefully he can keep it going. All right. I believe Adrian will make the team. Again, the reason why I don't think he will is because, again, nowadays in the NFL, teams keep 2 quarterbacks on the roster. They already have 2 quarterbacks in Rodgers and Tyrod Taylor. If they keep a third, he could. But they got to keep 3. That's the only way. But I hope he does because Adrian deserves to be in the NFL. Like, the UFL thing was cool, but the real place to be is the NFL. You want to have that, and I'm going to tell you this. If he can stay in the NFL for like 10 years and just be a backup quarterback, That's a darn good career. He's going to make a lot of money. And I want that for Adrian because I want him to make money, man, because he's a nice guy. He deserves that a lot. And Nebraska will always have his back. I'll tell you that much. I bet we'll run 45 past 55. No. We'll be pretty much 50-50. Like, even when we had Whipple, that was what it was about. 55-45 with pass. Like, that's basically an error rate at this point. No, it's going to be 50-50. It might still be a little bit run slanted. Need a fast guy to run down CU's quarterback. Jamari Butler's pretty fast. Princewell Mamlum's fast. Vincent Shavers is darn fast. So, yeah, we one thing I like about this team. Let's get a cheers going, folks. For the longest time, we would have linebackers who were good tacklers and solid Big Ten guys, but they weren't fast. They weren't athletic freaks. They weren't Terrell Farley. They weren't, Levante Davids of the world. Matt Rhule likes these just baller linebackers who are athletic. They're freaks of nature, and they're just find a way to get to the football. So cheers to that. Cheers to Vincent Shavers, to Mekhi Gabair, Buda Wright, Stephon Thompson, Dylan Rogers, a couple other guys there, Willis McGahee. Cheers to those guys, because those guys are athletic freaks, and that's the future of the linebacker position. So cheers. Ohio State, Penn State, MU, not the problem. Frost told them they better get us now. What's the problem? Corey, man, you're just complaining about random stuff here, man. You're complaining about the weirdest stuff. It's not even worth it to complain about that. Just you got 3 weeks of the season, Corey. Okay, let's take this. Let's take the Kool-Aid and let's sip it a little bit. It won't hurt you, my man. It won't hurt you. Okay, I'm all for being pessimistic in March, in April, but we got 3 weeks till the season, man. Get excited, bro. Come on. I would love to see Gabe Ervin run through Shiloh, bro. I would love to see that too, bro. I hate Shiloh. I mean, I will say this. I like Deion. I really do. I like Deion. I think he's good for college football. I think he's a good person. He's just not a good coach. He's not a good coach. I feel the exact same way about him that I do with Mike Riley. I love Deion Sanders as a person. I love Mike Riley as a person. However, both of those guys are terrible head coaches and have terrible cultures because they're both negligent. But Deion Sanders, I think he's good for football, and I really like him. And I like what he says off the field. I will say this, though. I don't like his sons. I don't like Shador. I don't like Shiloh. I agree with you, bro. I want Gabe to run through him, man. Put his head in the dirt a little bit. Would love to see that. I want to see our water boy and towel guy get the action against Northern Iowa. You're darn right, man. I want to see the walk-ons in the game. I want to see, Bryant Rhule in the game. Matt Rhule's son. Let's strap him. Let's put a helmet on my man. Let's get him going. Right? I want to see everybody in the game during that one, man. Absolutely. I want to see the rest of Deion's toes fall off. Oh my gosh, bro, dog. You can't. I should not have read that. I should not have read that. I want to eat their mascot. Me too, man. Buffalo's pretty good. I can't hate on Wilson's Rutgers call. They're no joke. Yeah, Rutgers is good, and we lose against teams like Rutgers all the time. So I can't sit here and predict that to be a win, or at least feel confident about it. I can see the Rutgers game going anyway, depending how Nebraska plays. Until then, I think we're going to be undefeated going into it. I just think again it's going to be a homecoming game, 11 a.m. kick. Crowd's not going to be into it. It's a trap game. Who's starting quarterback? Guy by the name of Dylan Raiola. Should not be a debate. It's not a debate. I'm comfortable being the overly optimistic Husker in the room. Wilson's got a show to do. You're darn right. And I'll tell you this. I try to hamper a little bit my optimism because if I was going to sit here and say 10 wins, there's going to be some Buffalo fans, there's going to be some mad Nebraska fans who come in my videos, later down the road and be like, Wilson, you had 10 wins. We won 7. How dare you? Like, I can't hide, man. If I have a bad take, I can't hide. Like, I got to make videos, right? So I'm going to be here every day, whether you like it or not. But so I got to make my takes count. So I'll tell you when I'm right, and I'll tell you when I'm wrong. Mostly I'm right, though. Yeah, again, I really like Rutgers. They're very similar to what we want to be. Like, we want to be a team like Rutgers. We really, it's weird to say, but we do. Agree with 8-4. I agree. Thank you for all you do. Good luck in college next year. You're mature beyond your years. And I appreciate that, Adam. Appreciate that, man. I'm excited for college. Again, it's going to be a wild week for me personally, but it's going to be a good time, and I'm ready for the football season, more importantly. How is our offensive line week? I didn't say that. Our offensive line is good. The starting five is good. The depth is poor. Okay, Gunnar Kutula is a second-year player. He's our first swing tackle. That's a problem. I'll be one of the few voices that'll say I like Rutgers in conference. I've drank in Jersey with them in NYC with everybody else. And a lot of folks are closet NU fans. Really? In New York City, people are Nebraska fans? Really? Really? That's interesting. I kind of like Rutgers too. I don't hate them at all. Like I don't have no bad blood against Rutgers. I kind of like their team too. I really like I like Greg Schiano. I just think Greg Schiano is so similar to Matt Rhule. So similar. OMG, a Commanders fan. I'm so sorry. Again, it's a tough life, man. Nebraska fan, Commanders fan. I've never seen win football my entire life, practically. Yep. Lincoln Riley's way overrated. I agree. I mean, well, he's a great offensive mind. I'll say that. He's a quarterback whisperer. But actually constructing a staff and being a game managing head coach, he's not very good. He's good at getting SoCal recruits. He is. He's a good recruiter, man. He's good at developing. All right. We have a deep running back room. Got to run a good amount. Yeah, I agree. We have a deep running back room. The only problem is that there's not a top end talent in there. It's good, not great. It's deep, but it's not great. Okay, Emmett's good. He's going to be a starter, but he's not great. Not yet. If he was great, if he was perhaps even elite, we would be talking about 10 wins pretty confidently, in my opinion. I have a question, Wilson. Are you going to be taking Nebraska to cover the spreads this year? I'm not a betting man. But if history would tell us anything, I would absolutely not bet on Nebraska ever. Never. I would never bet on Nebraska. Because we do not cover spreads. We do not cover anything because we're just the anti betting school. I can't. So the season over unders that come up every offseason, we have not covered one of those since 2016, or we've not had the over on one of those. And then we normally don't cover the spread either. So yeah, I would not bet on Nebraska ever. I wouldn't bet on Nebraska for any of these games. Like UTEP, I wouldn't bet on us. We're a 4 touchdown favorite. Wouldn't bet on that. Colorado, I certainly wouldn't bet on that. So, Dr. Pepper, step it up, my man. I got a show to run here. I can't be drinking anything else. Not like I would. Not like I would. Oh man, I can't. I don't do that. I don't do that stuff. Man. I don't do that stuff at all. That's not me. This is about how adult beverage will get on this channel with a Dr. Pepper, my man. Cheers. Do you think Adrian Martinez could have been drafted in one of the earlier rounds, if not for Frost? Oh, for sure. He could have been. He was so talented. He played true freshman, but yeah. I mean, if he had Matt Rhule, even he would have been drafted. I don't think he'd probably earlier rounds, but he would probably be drafted. Period. Like maybe 6th, 7th, 5th round. Yeah. I don't like your L prediction with Rutgers because we get them at home and match it very well with them. I don't think we match it very well with them because, again, they're a team that we lose against. They don't turn the ball over. They have a great defense. They have a great running game. They're basically us. They're literally us, but in Rutgers form. And they have a great game managing head coach. Okay, the teams we beat are squads that don't have good offenses, that turn the ball over a lot, that we can take advantage of. That's not Rutgers. So I think that's going to be – it's just a prime trap game. It's a prime trap game for us. Am I saying it's a lock that we lose? No, but I think it's a tough game. Wilson, if I told you that this is the best wide receiver room Nebraska has ever had, I get the feeling you're starting to believe. Wait, okay. Wilson, I told you I think this is the best receiver room Nebraska has ever had. No, I don't believe that just yet. It's a good receiver room, but no, the best receiver room we ever had was in the 2010s when we had Kenny Bell, Alonzo Moore, Jordan Westerkamp, DeMornay Pearsonell, Stanley Morgan, I think, was in one of those rooms at one point. We had Brandon Riley. That was the best receiver room we've ever had. Okay, that was phenomenal. So we have a good room, not the best we've ever had, though. Not yet. Maybe next year. Colorado beats Nebraska again. You going to give kudos to Deion or complain about Rhule? Or both? Dude, if we lose to Colorado, I'm going to do both. No, again, the same way I praised Rhule all offseason, like I'm going to be the first to tell you if Rhule makes a bad call or struggles in game. It has the same mistakes he did last year. So if Colorado beats Nebraska, it's absolutely on Matt Rhule. Like it will be on him, right? Because we believe that Matt Rhule is a great game manager, head coach. We believe he's a great game manager. We believe that he's a great developer. We believe him more talented than Colorado. Okay, I've said this all the time when it comes to Scott Frost. You lose games for two reasons. You either lose games because you have less talent than the team you're playing, or you lose games because you got outcoached. Last year against Colorado, I think they probably had more talent and they were better coached than us. Well, we have more talent this year. So if we lose that game, it's because we're getting outcoached. And for that reason, I would blame Matt Rhule, but I don't think we're going to lose. So whatever. Hopefully we don't, because that's going to be a crazy, crazy day. It's going to be a crazy day. You better believe Nebraska fans will call for Rhule's head if we lose. Not me, but there are going to be some who do. Run D is strong enough to hold Mono. I can't pronounce the last name. I'm not even going to try. And Calic Manis have to win in Lincoln. He won't, and they won't be able to stop all offensive weapons. Again, they have a top 20 defense, my man. I truly believe. I think they have a good squad. Again, I'm not saying it's a lock for them to beat us. No, but it's a trap game. Yes, are we more talented? Sure. But I'm going to make a bold statement. I think that Greg Schiano might be a better game manager, head coach than Matt Rhule, at least as of right now. I like Greg Schiano a lot, and I like what he's doing there. So, yeah. What's going to be your new background scene for videos in your college? Whatever's in my dorm room, man. You'll have to see. It won't be. I mean, let's not act like my background's too great here. I just got my helmets back there, but it's just gonna be whatever. Who knows? I might put a banner up. Might put a Nebraska banner up, but I'll try to make some little makeshift thing. You know, I'm moving in on Friday, and I still haven't told my roommate I'm a YouTuber, so that'll be an interesting conversation. I'll be like, I'll tell my roommate, I'll be like, hey, can you leave the room like once every day so I can record a YouTube video? I don't know. We'll figure that out, man. Death Row gonna remember Shedeur flexes watch on him, bro. We love to throw the bones, but if Ty Robinson brings down Shedeur, bro, I want him doing this. That would be hilarious, man. That'd be hilarious. O-line, please keep Dylan healthy and upright. You're darn right. That's the most important thing. I'm looking at you, Turner Corcoran. You, the offensive line, dictate whether or not what Dylan Raiola is healthy the whole year. You dictate his future. We'll see. How are you feeling about the 2025 class recruiting cycle? It's all right. It's all right. There were some big wins there, like Isaiah Mosey was a big win. Kay was a big win. We just don't have that top end guy. Like Michael, again, I've talked with Michael Terry. So I know, like, I mention this sometimes in my videos, but recruits watch my videos. Like, I talk with a lot of recruits on the daily, right? Like through Twitter DMs, through texts. I've talked to Michael Terry a lot, but you know who watches my videos more than recruits? Recruits' parents and players' parents. Like, they're constantly texting me all this stuff. Anyways, but I talked to Michael Terry, and I'm trying to get a read on him because obviously he doesn't want to give away what he's thinking, but it's Texas. Like, I think it's going to be Texas because he wants to stay with home, but his parents watch my videos all the time. But he was telling me, I was talking to Michael like 3 or 4 days ago, and he told me if I ever went to San Antonio, which is where he lives, that his parents were going to take me out to dinner. So, you know, maybe I got to go to San Antonio and try to lock down Michael Terry for the team. Like, I don't know. Maybe I got to start recruiting. You know, Matt Rhule, if you're watching this, hire me, man, because I'm talking to your top recruits, man. I'm trying to lock them down. I'm doing the best I can, my man. I'm doing the best I can. I'm gonna get Matt Rhule in the program at some point. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but you know, Matt, we need you on the show, dude. We need you. He says he doesn't want Deion's toes falling off. Yeah, that's I sure hope not. But he only got so many left, my man. He only got so many left. I am pretty sure I am Wilson's biggest fan. Appreciate that, dude. I absolutely appreciate that again. Dude, thank you. We need Terrell Farley's again. Exactly. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we need, like, just freak athlete linebackers. That's what I want. I want guys who run 4.4s, who are just flying over the field. Like Luke Reimers of the world and Nick Henrichs of the world, they're fine, but they don't blow you away. They're not NFL guys. Terrell Farley's, Lavonte Davids, those are NFL guys. Give me those players. That's what you get with Vincent Shavers. That's what you get with Mekhi Gabair. So that's what I'm hyped up about. Or my Husker code on vacation in Alaska. I got several Go Big Reds. Husker Nation's everywhere, man. I mean, you see, I do this thing before every live. I ask you guys where you're tuned in from. I mean, there's always a new place every time, like New York, Las Vegas, California, Hawaii. We got my man who's coming in from the Philippines. I get viewers from Tokyo, so it's crazy, man. I love young, talented, diligent work. Young Wilson gets on my support. Appreciate that, Jason. Appreciate you guys. Best 3-win team ever, 2021. That was quite the year. It's quite the year. There's no reason to hate on the Huskers in NYC and Jersey. They all remember heyday. Okay, I see it. I get what you mean. I ain't bet on Nebraska either. Yeah. Never bet on Nebraska ever. Never bet on Nebraska. We do not do well against point spreads. We do not go well in over-unders. I just never bet on us. I'll never do that. Ever. Because then, if we lose a football game, you're not only going to be mad that we lost, you're going to be double mad because you lost money. So, just don't bet on us, man. You like throw some money down on the ACC and some SEC games, whatever. Do not ever throw money down on Nebraska because then you got some tied interest there. Just don't do it. Like, whatever. I'm not a betting man personally. I don't want to get into that stuff, but I respect those who do. Just don't throw them at Nebraska because you're going to lose it. Trust me on that one. Dante Dowdle, how good will he be? I've tried to tell people all offseason because if we take a time machine back over to the spring, everybody thought Dante Dowdle would be running back one. Everybody did. Like, it was weird. And I was telling y'all back then, I'm like, Dante Dowdle's not going to be that guy. Like, he's going to be fine, and he might get in the game, but he's not going to be running back one. We're at a point now where I feel pretty confident he's going to be wide receiver or running back 4, but he's going to get in the game in like short yard situations. He's not ready. He's just not ready. All right. He's not ready. EJ ran well without the pass game last year. Yeah, he was awesome. Emmett was awesome. With, again, a bad offensive line, a bad passing game. He was great. And Matt Rhule said that time and time again. Like, he said, I think Gabe can win us games. He said, and I quote, I think Gabe can win us ball games. I think Ramir can win us games. I know Emmett can win us games because he did last year. That's what Matt Rhule said, word for word. I mean, just listen to what he's saying, man. Emmett's going to be that guy. I would never bet on UNL. My bit is the overly optimistic Huskers. Yeah, never bet on us. You're going to lose money. It's just not worth it. And then you got tied interest everywhere. It's dumb. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Be smart with your money. By the end of the CU game, we should know what we have. I agree. Again, that's the Colorado game is going to tell us a lot of stuff. A lot of overreaction. Like, if we win that game, we might got fans coming to my comment section saying, natty. If we lose that game, people are going to be in here saying, fire Matt Rhule. It's going to be whatever happens, man. Whatever happens. But let's not overreact. I'm from Vegas usually. I always bet against Nebraska and have done well. Dog. Betting against Nebraska? Are you kidding me? Like, I get it. It's kind of smart because, okay, we lost and you're sad about it, but you win money. But, like, come on, don't bet against Nebraska. If you ever make it to Las Vegas, let's hang out. Absolutely, my man. Absolutely. Johnny Rogers and Irving Fryer were better individually, but entire rooms were not. Yeah, I agree. But it's just a different period as well. Like, the wide receivers as a whole are so much better in 2024 than they were in the 1980s. So much better. Like, I truly believe Trey Palmer is the best receiver Nebraska's ever had. Like, ever. Even better than Irving Fryer. And Irving Fryer went number 1 in the NFL draft. Okay? Because that's how good wide receivers are compared to what they were in the 80s and the 70s. They've developed at a high rate. Okay? The talent is just so much better. So much better. Because, the strength and conditioning programs are better. Just everything's better. Like, conditioning's better. These guys are freak athletes. Back in the day, these guys were not running 4.4 40 times. Now 4.4 is the average. Rutgers game is going to come down to which D stops the run best. Completely agree, right? And that's what Rutgers does well. So, again, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a brawler game, probably low scoring. We're going to come out of that game bloody, bruised, injured. You better hope we win. I think we have a bye after that. Somebody correct me. I think we do have a bye after that game, though. So that's going to be big. It's a good time bye. Hi, FW, or... Yeah, hi FW. If Rhule gets a little better with end game calls. Our field goal kicker gets a little better. Number 9 tackles a little better. A lot of things come together. Bro, I mean, what do you mean number 9? Deshaun Singleton's a great tackler, my man. But no, I agree. We're going to win a lot of games. You know what's funny, though? The whole theme this offseason has been chasing 3. How can we chase 3 if we're not certain about our field goal kicker? I don't know. That's the concern. We're going to find out the harsh truth in about 3 weeks about how good our kicking situation is. It could be bad. It could be real bad. It could be real bad. Dallas says, hi, Wilson. What's up, my man, Dallas? Hope you're having a good night, my bro. Hope you're having a good night. Hey, Dallas, we still got to get that college football game in, dog. Message me, dude. Hey, I'll plug this one more time. Everybody, follow me on social media once again. Wilson Dimon on Instagram. Wilson D Sports on Twitter. I'll follow every single one of you guys back, so make sure to hit me with a follow. And again, if you're somehow watching this live stream, I don't know how many people are in this live stream right now, hit that like button and please subscribe. Again, I don't know how you're not subscribed. We've had a great time tonight. Drunk a lot of diet soda, put a lot of toast in the air, a lot of celebrations. We have the best family here on Husker YouTube, so please subscribe and join the family. Let's keep it rolling. Gunner, best football name ever? Yeah, Gunner Gatula, dude. That's just offensive lineman. Offensive lineman written all over. He was born to be our left tackle. He was born. Good on you, Wilson. Stick to the soda. You will get the last laugh. Yeah, I'm not doing. Yeah, you're right. I'm not doing any of the adult stuff ever. That's not me. My family doesn't do that. I like to stay away from it. So yeah, appreciate that. I don't really care who does it. You know, I mean, like I have friends who do it or drink that, and it doesn't matter if you do it in regulation or you just do it for fun. Is what it is. But there are people who struggle with it. You know, and I just don't. I have no urge to do it. I have no urge to do it, so I don't really care. Or drink it, I should say, not do it, but drink it. All right. Send out some good vibes over the internet that David Sanders is going to play with 5-star Dylan. Hopefully, man. Guys, get those donations in so Wilson can go to Texas and lock up Michael Terry. Yeah, maybe, man. I'll make a little trip over there to San Antonio. I'll make a little trip. Oh, Ty Robinson's 9. You're darn right. Deshaun Singleton's 8. Yeah, you guys got me. You got me. You freaking got me. Why was I thinking of Deshaun Singleton? Okay, yeah, Ty Robinson did miss a lot of tackles last year. It's weird because he had the highest pass rush percentage on the team. He got to quarterback the most. He just had 1 sack on the year. Or I want to say it was even 2 sacks. He could not bring those guys down. He's so slow. Like, Ty Robinson is a freak of nature, but he's so slow. Yeah, I don't know why. I thought Deshaun Singleton was 9, but Deshaun Singleton's 8. There we go. You are right. They better start the reserves than against UTEP. Start the reserves? Come on. What are we doing? I took the Nebraska point spread versus Florida State. Was still bummed we lost, but even though I won, yeah, that was I grew up watching the DVR tape of that, man. That was terrible. Terrible game. Dowdle is young, capable, and subordinate to young players. You're right. Yep, completely right. Completely right. Again, and a lot of people are like, okay, Dante Dowdle played for Oregon last year. He shouldn't have played. He should have redshirted. Like, Dan Lanning was really stupid. He put him in the game in in garbage time against FCS opponents and lower level Pac-12 teams. He played him in 5 games. Why did he burn his redshirt? It was terrible. I have bets with every one of my friends because they're haters on this Colorado game. I'm going to invest emotionally and financially. You best hope we don't lose, bro, because you're going to be done. You're going to be in shambles, my man. I hope we win, just for you. I hope we win. Am I late? You a little late here on. We had a good live, but don't worry, you can rewind. We talked about a lot today. What we talked about? The offseason, a lot of toasts. We talked about fall camp nuggets. We talked about my predictions, man. We're just having a good time tonight. We're having a good time hanging out, talking ball, talking Huskers. You know, good way to spend a Sunday. We got screwed. Absolutely, we did. Dude, love your honesty. I had the same thoughts about Shiano. Why can't we get all these guys? I looked at Matt Rhule's eyes in the press conference today. He's not long-term. I don't know. I don't agree. Fryer ran a 4.2. No, he did not. Irving Fryer did not run a 4.2, my man. I don't think 4.2 is ridiculous. No, he did not run a 4.2. Wouldn't be surprised if it was a 4.4, but not a 4.2. Yep, Ty Robinson's 9. Yep, I thought for some reason Sean Singleton was 9. I'm tripped. I was off. Do you think Nebraska can make a bowl, maybe Big Ten championship? Yep, we're making a bowl for sure. Not Big Ten child game. We're winning probably 8, 9, maybe 7. I shouldn't pretend to know what happened with. Let's not get into that. No. Let's not get into Urban Fryer. Let's not get into that. Try to tell you guys, we're not talking about Urban Fryer on this channel. We're not talking about Lawrence Phillips on this channel. We're just gonna put that off to the side, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Husker Chuck, appreciate that. Appreciate those words. Higher chance of getting Terry or David Sanders. Terry for sure. But at the same time, I've talked to Terry. I haven't talked to David Sanders. So, yep. If you have to be 21 drink, you're darn right. You're darn right. Yeah, you guys should not be making fun of me for drinking Diet Coke. I can report you guys. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that. We're making some bad jokes in here. We're getting it's that type of night. All right. Let's try to catch up here, everybody. All right. Wilson, name one player you have not mentioned yet that might surprise us this year. Bro, I've thrown out so many names in my videos, dude. One name, bro. Might surprise us this year. I'll tell you who's not going to surprise us this year. Elijah Judy. Elijah Judy is one that I've heard a lot of good stuff about. Ty Robinson was talking about him the other day. I've heard some nuggets about him in fall camp. He's going to be in the mix on this defensive line. He's not going to start, but again, we rotate 6 or 7 defensive linemen a game. I know a lot of people assume Elijah Judy's not going to play, but he's going to play a lot, and he's a true 3 technique this year. So Elijah Judy is the guy I'd say here for sure that I've heard some good things about. And honestly, I unfortunately was not even thinking about Elijah Judy a lot of the offseason. Like, this dude went under my radar, but when I heard his name first called, I was like, oh yeah, Elijah Judy's still on this roster. So he's played good throughout fall camp. Another one, let's see. I heard a lot of good stuff about Davon Hall in spring ball. He's not going to play this year. He's going to redshirt, but heard some stuff about Davon Hall that he's just an athletic freak. You know the deal. Quinn Ives. That's about it. I mean, I've mentioned literally everybody else. Like Larry Tarver I love Larry Tarver, Vision Shavers. Like, you guys know who him is, but the big one's Elijah Judy. Nobody's talking about him for some reason, and he's going to be in the game a lot. This defensive line is going to rotate a lot, and he should be good. Do you think Nebraska can make a natty ever again? It's tough, man. It's tough. I mean, recruiting is just so different than what it was 25, 30 years ago. So that's big. I think we could, but it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. Like, we got to take baby steps. Will our defense be in trouble if Nash or Hill gets hurt? If Nash gets hurt, we'll be fine because our defensive line is so deep. If Tommy Hill gets hurt, holy cow, we're pressing the emergency button right now. We're pressing that button because the secondary is concerning. Because let's put it this way. If Tommy Hill gets hurt, you're talking about, potentially Mario Buford being your starting corner or Larry Tarver being your starting corner. And those guys I think are going to be good and they're talented. But I have my concerns about a true freshman starting against Big Ten caliber wideouts. Okay, so yeah, we're absolutely putting the panic button on that. All right, guys. I've made it through all the comments. Put your final thoughts in here. We've been going about 2 hours. My goodness, this has been a fun live. It has been a fun live stream. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. Make sure to subscribe if you're someone watching this and not subscribed. Make sure to, again, follow me on social media if you haven't already. Again, at Wilson. I'll follow every single one of you guys back. Don't worry about it. We talk Huskers on there when I'm not talking Huskers on YouTube, so make sure to follow me. But put your final thoughts here in the comment section, guys. I don't want to take you guys too long here, but man, it's been a real fun live. I love talking ball with you guys. Love talking Skurs, and a lot of the fun stuff been going on. Let's see. I haven't heard much about Boodle. You're right. There was a lot of stuff about Boodle. There was a lot of stuff about Boodle in spring ball, and I was never high on Boodle. Like, I think he's good, and I think he has upside, but man, he's got beat out by guys like Tarver and Buford and Jeremiah Charles. Yep. Super talented at DB room. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's going to be a good room in about even next year. It's going to be really good, but just not this year. Don't stop yet, just got here, Mr. Man. Again, we'll keep it going as long as people got stuff to say. So if you guys want to keep it rolling, keep putting stuff in the comment section. But again, you just rewind, my man. Rewind. We got 2 hours of content, dude. We talked about a lot of stuff. We covered a lot of content. So roll it back, dude. But yeah, keep putting stuff in the comment section. Y'all want me to go longer. I had fun. Y'all cracked me up. Yeah, man. The live chat's fun. I mean, you guys make it what it is. Like, I can carry a live stream for about hour and a half, but the rest of it's up to you guys. You guys are what you make of it, and live stream is great. This family's crazy, man. This Husker family on YouTube is awesome. So put your final thoughts here in the comment section. We'll keep going as long as possible. Final thoughts, final predictions, breakout players, whatever it is, let me know in the comment section. Husker Chuck says 8-4 is my prediction. I could see it. Again, that's my prediction as well. I could see it. Another surprise at D-line is a godsend. Yeah, Elijah Jeudy. I've heard a lot of good stuff about him. A lot of good stuff about Elijah Jeudy. For the natty question, Osborne said nothing lasts forever. Yep, I agree. I mean, Alabama's not going to be great forever. They're already sinking. Georgia's sinking. So, yep. Sleep in the DB room, not named Larry Tarver. Well, Buford, I mean, that's not exactly a sleeper at this point. I mean, there's not really any others. I mean, Jeremiah Charles has been getting one's reps. Larry Tarver's been getting one's reps. There's really not another. I mean, it's a talented room, but I wouldn't say a sleeper. Those are the guys in the mix to start, is what I'm going to say. We kill in here. Husker party room. You're darn right. It's a party, man. It's a party in the chat. It's a celebratory night. 3 weeks, folks. Offseason's almost done. Let's get hype. Let's get hype, man. You play any NCAA 25? I absolutely do. I play Xbox. Hey, if you guys want to play me on NCAA 25, College Football 25, Instagram, go on to my Instagram and DM me and let's run some tonight. I'll play some tonight. I'll play it after this live stream. I'll do it. When's your next live? Okay, that's a darn good question, Dallas. My next live stream is going to be tough. So, not next Sunday because I'm moving into college on Friday. I'm going to be so busy moving in. It's welcome week and all that. I'm going to Crane, by the way. Most of you guys know that. And I think I will absolutely have a live stream the Friday before UTEP. So that Friday night, we'll absolutely have a live stream for that. Maybe not next Sunday, but the Sunday after that before game week. So definitely not next Sunday. So that's what I can tell you guys. But again, like I've said in the past, every single week this summer or this season, I will have a live stream the Friday night before a game, and then Sunday night talking about that game before, and then the upcoming game the next week. And then I might have live streams scattered throughout the season after the game. It's just probably for away games because I'm going to be at most of the home games. So that's what I can tell you. And Dallas, I'll follow you back on Instagram, my man. I like the DB room. We are only weak at one corner. Safeties are really good. Again, the safeties are good. Oh, I love the safeties, but it's just that corner room is tough, and the depth's bad there too. So if Tommy Hill goes down, we're not in a good spot. Tell us what your major and long-term plans are. Yeah, okay, so again, going to Crane, most of you guys know that at this point if you follow the channel. Majoring in finance. It's funny was that I was never planning on being a business major at any point in my life. I was more interested a lot in journalism and broadcasting originally, and I had a lot of interest, but business was always kind of an option. I never really wanted to do it, but a lot of you guys know the reason I am going to Crane is because I got a full ride scholarship there. So I worked really hard throughout high school. I was involved in a bunch of stuff, president of a bunch of clubs, insane GPA, insane ACT score. So I got a full ride scholarship at Crane, which I don't want to brag or anything. I'm not, but it was humbling. It was very humbling. So I had to accept it. Going to Crane, I love Crane. It's a great university, and I'm going to be a finance major. And I'm either going to go into finance after those 4 years, be a lawyer afterwards, go to law school, or see where broadcast takes me because I do broadcasting on the side too. But people say, will you be a full-time YouTuber? Probably not. I mean, this is fun and all, and I love you guys. Trust me, but full-time YouTubers, they don't make much money, man, unless you're like blow up. And I love it. It's fun, but I got a lot of stuff I got a lot of plans for my future, man. A lot of family. Sounds good. We'll going light. We're going live night before games and after on Sunday nights. Yep. And I know a lot of you guys are busy after games anyways. Like, you guys have a lot of places to go or do. You might be driving home from a game. You might be listening to the radio. So we'll see. But I'll let you guys know about those after game stuff. But we'll absolutely go live on Friday nights and Sunday nights. You can pencil that down. But probably from the dorm room. Again, say goodbye to this background because it will not be here much longer. At this point, not many sleepers. Yep. And I've told you guys sleepers. When I hear something, I tell you guys. Like, I do not, keep information away from you. I tell you guys my videos. That's why you watch them. That's why I got notifications on, I hope. So I tell you guys all the sleepers. I'm not hiding anybody. Those are the guys I've heard. I think we will be NFL light champs. Man, what? Congrats, nerd. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Yep. Finance. The reason why I picked finance was because I love math and there's a job at the end of the end. So that's why I picked finance. Do you know when the volleyball doc comes out? Didn't they say it was like a week from now? Like, I think like 2 weeks, something like that. Before our first game, I know that. I'm going to watch that for sure. All right, guys. Put your final thoughts in the comment section. I'm getting a little tired out. I got to record a video after this too. I got a video to record. I'm not going to spoil it just yet, but I'm recording 1 or 2 videos tonight too. So I'll put your final stuff in the comment section. So parting thoughts, guys. August 25th. I was darn right. Did I say that? I said that. I don't know how I knew that. Put your final thoughts in the comment section, guys. Love you. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys more than you would know. Every single one of you guys who comment, like, I recognize you guys. I appreciate you guys. You guys all have personalities in my mind. So I want to follow you guys all back on Instagram or Twitter, whatever you guys are on. I hope you guys have notifications set for my videos. Like button, hit that. Subscribe if you haven't already. But I'm very appreciative of you guys all throughout the summer. And I just want to let you guys know I'm not stopping anytime soon. We're keeping this train rolling. So all love to everybody, you guys. Final thoughts in the comment section, and we'll get out of here. So I appreciate you guys. But let's see if anybody has any more thoughts here. Do we leave the 26th class with Isaac Jensen signing? 40% chance. I'm going to say that. Over, under, over. I'll take the over. 11 wins in third season. I could see it. All right, guys. That'll do it for me. I got to end at some point. I know. Let's see if I get any final thoughts here. Yeah, I think that'll probably do it. So, all right, guys. Thank you much for joining me. Very fun live stream. Hope you guys all had a blast. Have a good night. Be safe. And make sure to hit that like button. And please subscribe. And as always, folks, go Big Red. Go Matt Rhule. And see you in the next one.